with Zach Mettenberger. And, do kind of in a different way, do what the Niners have done with Colin Kaepernick and the Seahawks have done with Russell Wilson, not having to invest in a first-round pick for your quarterback. I know the pay scale is different than it used to be. Still, you pay a first-round pick more money than you would pay a sixth-round pick. I think they want to roll the dice. Listen, they have so many defensive issues. 2012, gave up the most points in the history of the franchise. Now, don't giggle. I'm not talking about the Tennessee Titans. I'm talking about all the way back to the Houston Oilers.
Are they going to come on at like 7:25 and do a pregame show?
Record. This year, horrible on defense, lost their last 10 games. They didn't bring it. Listen, Dick LeBeau might be their best defensive player, much less the assistant head coach. So
then, do they trade? Then who's trading up to get that second pick from Tennessee?
I'm not sure.
The interview?
If anybody's trading,
yeah, they should be able to.
Because I think that Mariota could go. I don't think he goes any lower than 5, and that's when I think.
Yeah, you need both of them.
Is going to start beginning. Okay,
you need both of them or what?
Will stand pat. There's a lot of talk about Oakland wanting to dump out at number 4 and move its way down, and finally they're.
Does anything need to be edited on the one that you sent me?
On that defense and so on.
Anything need to be edited on the one you sent me?
I think it's
I saw it. I'm working on that right now.
But listen,
wait, which interview do they want in the pregame show?
Especially in the secondary. Everybody talks about the quarterbacks. How about those cornerbacks? We forget last year. That's a team that gave up 31 touchdown passes and had 6 picks. You make more than 6 picks every weekend during the season, don't you?
That's about right.
Yeah.
So you think? So you think ultimately Mariota will wind up somewhere top 10?
I think he will be top 10. I think somebody will get antsy, and I don't rule out Philadelphia still. Okay,
yeah, I don't either. I don't buy.
Done. Listen,
and that's the one that I got to edit.
My own opinion. I think the only reason.
All right, I gotta take you out of queue to edit this. So if you need to yell at me, it'll be a minute.
Enable him to maybe trade Matt Barkley and get a pick
for
him, even if it was a 7th round pick. Okay, so you can use those picks to move your way up and
ProFootballGuru.com and Bleacher Report giving us a few minutes. All right, an update on Duke and Michigan State with the Blue Devils trying to hold off Michigan State and get into the championship game on Monday night. We'll come back with that as we continue on the Jason Page Show, NBC Sports Radio, and the NBC Sports Radio mobile app.
Stay tuned. There's much more coming your way next on NBC Sports Radio, because we come to play.
St. Lou, what's cracking? Jim Rome here reminding you to catch my show every weekday right here on 1380 Talk STL.
Things aren't the same as they were when Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. We didn't have reality TV. Back then, it was just reality. The most exciting thing that ever happened was when Jimmy got his head stuck in the gopher hole. Trust me, that's not a show anyone would binge watch. Yep, we didn't have much entertainment, but switching our car insurance to Geico was pretty exciting.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
Now at the Home Depot, get 20% off when you buy 1 bag of Scott's Turf Builder Halts and 1 bag of Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed. So let's do simpler steps to a healthier lawn. Step 1, feed now. Step 2, repeat in 8 weeks. Step 3, step barefoot onto your lush lawn. Let's do this. Spring all out for less with 20% off Scott's Halts and Weed and Feed. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through April 8th. Selection varies by store. U.S. only.
Shaquille O'Neal for Icy Hot.
If you've got pain, you need the patch.
The Icy Hot Patch. Powerful, targeted, fast-acting pain relief that stays put without the mess. Icy to dull the pain, hot to relax it away. In a variety of sizes. From back, shoulders, knees, even arthritis. So you're covered whenever and wherever you're hurt. Stop pain right at the source with Icy Hot Patches.
Pain's no match for the Icy Hot Patch.
For temporary topical pain relief, use only as directed.
You make the decision to buy the home, then you're faced with what's next. What do we do?
We started at Realtor.com.
Realtor.com gave us a lot more current information.
Listings are pulled directly from the MLS every 15 minutes.
Once you've gone through all of that, the realtor makes it happen.
We worked with a realtor that really knew the area.
And he knew the market.
When you have someone who has the expertise, it makes it so much easier.
Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Hey.
Floyd Auto Glass to Go, being a family-owned and locally owned and operated company for over 30 years, we insist that every windshield is installed properly and safely. For Floyd, there is no other way. Enjoy our Floyd Assurance Package, meaning if anything happens to your windshield, foul ball at a baseball game, we'll give you a new windshield for free. You just pay labor. Call today to set up your windshield replacement at your place or ours. 922-FLOYD or online at floydglass.com.
You're listening to 1380 Talk STL. Streaming live, mobile, and on demand at TalkSTL.com. Download the app at the iTunes Store and Google Play Store.
Perfect to be the perfect parent.
Don't tell Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Information on hot water heating.
No. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out the words.
World music, playing track now.
No.
Let me try. Our daughter gets confused about which details in a story are important.
Which paper towels are most absorbent?
What?
Here are 5 product reviews.
Why are you not getting me?
See, I told you.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues. Designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by Understood.org and the Ad Council.
Life can get in the way of a lot of things, but one thing's for sure. Don't let it get in the way of your sports. NBC Sports Radio is on demand. The days of missing your favorite show are gone. All you need to do is drop by NBCSportsRadio.com and check out our on-demand menu. There you'll find everything you need. Archive shows, special features, and much more. Plus, you can take us on the go with the NBC Sports Radio app.
Hey, Scott.
On your mobile device. Online, on demand. We are NBC Sports Radio and NBCSportsRadio.com.
Okay.
Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Are they really?
On the computer. That webpage you're on?
Well, they weren't starting until 7:30.
She doesn't think you're hot, and she's not going to date you. Sorry,
he's in kickoff at 7:30?
But hey, you want something real?
Then we still should have
NBC
10 minutes
Sports
to...
Radio. Real sports, real stories. Stream us on the web at NBCSportsRadio.com. Or download the official NBC Sports Radio app and listen wherever you go. We are NBC Sports Radio.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out.
I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's gonna wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's gonna happen to us?
Yes, I do.
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free
Not
government
the best of my
program
knowledge.
that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped
All right.
over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or
3
visit
minutes.
makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
NBC Sports Radio.
I'm going to cue you guys in with
We're online
music.
and on demand
Welcome to the Jungle
24
Guns
hours a
Road.
day. This is NBC Sports Radio and NBCSportsRadio.com, where every day is game day.
We continue.
All right, at
Saturday
7:25, I'll start betting some music and just come on in whenever you
Jason
feel
Payne
like it.
Show on NBC Sports Radio and the NBC Sports Radio mobile app. Counting it down, 16 seconds to go. Duke will beat Michigan State 81-61 will be the final.
2 minutes.
As Duke runs it out. So the Blue Devils go into the
All right, 1
championship
minute.
game on Monday night. Took care of business, and hey, let's just be honest about it. They were the far superior team from a talent standpoint. It was not difficult to see this coming. I don't know if I thought they'd win by 20, but I had them winning by 8-10, and I thought they'd pull away in the second half, and that's exactly what they did. Duke goes on to meet the winner of Wisconsin and Kentucky. And I know there's a lot of disappointed kids on that Michigan
30
State
seconds.
team, but this team exceeded expectations considering where they were in the month of December after, I think, losing to, like, Texas Southern or something like that. Tom Izzo and this team, nothing to be ashamed of at all. And let this be said about Duke right now. They're playing
10
at a
seconds,
higher
about to
level
start
than
queuing up the music.
everybody else in this tournament, Wisconsin included. Kentucky included.
All right, ready to go? I'm going to turn you on and come right in.
Welcome back to St. Louis Attack Football here on TalkSTL.com. Alongside Todd Blackstock and Mike McNeil, I'm David Solomon, where I am joined by the head coach of the St. Louis Attack, Chris McKinney. And Coach, before we focus on this game here at hand, it seems like the theme of the season is revenge and redemption. Just what are your goals after 8-0 regular season and then that disappointing Expo here at the Family Arena last year?
You know, the redemption is our word for this year. We're trying to make up and redeem ourselves for everything that went wrong last year.
All right, I'll give you guys a cue on 30 seconds left on the interview, and I'll just bring you right up,
along with a good, strong
and you can just start right into it.
You know, I think that was a humbling experience. It helped us humble all our players, even the coaching staff, and it made us work even harder. So you got a tougher, stronger, more desire in this team now.
And in addition to new players here on this team, which we might dive into here in a little bit, you've also got some new teams. The Rio Grand Valley Soul is one of them. New to this league, but regular season championship of their league. How do you deal with a team with many guys who have either Arena Football 1 experience or even NFL experience in some cases?
Well, you know, there's going to be a lot of guys on these new teams that have NFL and AFL experience, and I think that just makes the whole league better and stronger as a whole. I mean, I love going against those guys because it challenges our players more. That way they can get ready for what's to come in the future, because we got a game, this game is the only game that matters. But after this, we need to be prepared, win or lose, to learn from this experience so we can be better. So I love going against strong competition.
And put you on the spot here a little, who do you think is going to step up from the return?
Okay, into a break.
And maybe take a new leap to another level this year?
As
all right,
a
we'll do.
Player, I think that Chris Head is gonna and Chris Cooper are also gonna both jump ahead and be major contributors this year, even more than they were last year. And they were great contributors for us last year.
And Head, for those of you
going up.
Now I bring you the voices of the Attack, Todd Blackstock and Mike McNeil, as we are just about ready for the home opener. DeAndre Jackson, he won the X-Dash, so the Attack are already up 2-0 before we've even started play. And Todd, take it away.
How about that? So the last time we had the St. Louis Attack was the championship game last year right here. It was a phenomenal game. And right now, it's first down and 10, Rio Grande. And it's a quick pass out to the right side, and it's caught by number 7, Cordrick Mobley. And take a look at the starting lineup for Rio Grande. Quarterback, number 4, Omar Jacobs. Danny Young, a wide receiver. Cordrick Mobley, wide receiver. Antoine Hicks at wide receiver. Got Ryan Richardson, Wandell Rutledge, Josh Moore, and James Daniels rounding out the Rio Grand Valley Soul. Rio Grande is a big team. Before the game, down in the locker room, we had a chance to look at these guys, and, they were huge.
Yeah, they've got some good size. They've also got some former guys that have actually had some NFL experience, so they look the part, that's for sure.
Quick pitch to the left side. Ryan Richardson gets a couple of yards, and Mike McNeil recently retired from the NFL, and Mike was signed with the Carolina Panthers, and he decided to come join us at 1380 Talk STL and jump on the St. Louis Attack.
Yeah, I went from playing to now announcing. It's a little bit of a transition, but I'm excited about it and excited for the next chapter in life, that's for sure.
Mike, last year you did a couple of games with us, did a great job, and it's great having you back.
Yeah, it's great to be back. I'm excited, and hopefully we'll get to see the Attack play real well and hopefully get out of here with a win tonight.
13:41 to go here in the first. Quarterback back to pass, goes down long, and it's caught at the 6-yard line. Caught by Antoine Hicks, and he's brought down, first and goal for Rio Grande, and that's an unbelievable play right there. And
yeah,
first down.
He went in motion before the snap. That's always tough to defend, and then ran a post route, broke the safety off. That was a great play by him.
Dave Solomon's also with us. He has also got an interview with the head coach of Rio Grande. We'll play that at some point. The game actually started about 5-7 minutes earlier than scheduled, so we kind of picked it up in progress, and we're excited as we cross the 13-minute mark. It's 2-0 St. Louis Attack, as DeAndre Jackson, as Dave Solomon stated earlier, usually wins the X-Dash to start the X-League action. Rio Grande back to pass, going in the end zone, a little bit of contact, and that's going to be an incomplete pass.
Looked like Marcus Dickinson there on the coverage, and I would like to also add that DeAndre Jackson, X-Dash Player of the Year in the X-League, so there was none better, and he's got the hardware to prove it.
And Mike, you're friends with Marcus Dickinson.
Yeah, I was just about to chime in. He's actually the X-League Co-Defensive Player of the Year from last year. I played with him in high school. He's a great guy, and he had a heck of a season last year.
A lot of very clutch picks as well.
Now, one big player missing this year is Gerard Powell. Gerard Powell broke his leg in 5 places last year. He was also a Kirkwood graduate as well, and I'm sure the Attack misses him.
Yeah, a guy that I also played with, and he was very disruptive along the defensive front.
And quarterback back to pass. He throws it, goes into the crowd, into the luxury area. One of the great features out here at the St. Charles Family Arena is the VIP area. This year, if you want to get a VIP ticket, I think it's like $47. You get all-inclusive drinks and food, and you get to sit right up against the action. And you can probably get a football.
You would have. Oh yeah. Although this year you have to give the footballs back, but you were right there to see Omar Jacobs. If you were sitting on those field side seats, great pressure by the Attack. Jason Null, Bernard Quinn, defensive lineman of the year. There was no doubt about it that Omar Jacobs was under intense pressure and just had to get rid of that ball, setting up this very clutch third down right here for the Attack defense.
Yeah, Nolan Quinn last year were extremely disruptive, made tons of big plays. I look for them to do a lot more this year.
All right, 11:06 to go and counting. Just about the 11-minute mark. Omar Jacobs, the big quarterback from Rio Grande, under center. 3-step drop, quick pass in the end zone, intercepted by the attack. Out to the 5, flag down, 10, 15, 20, almost to midfield, about the 24-yard line where the attack will take over, but there is laundry on the field.
Yeah, Kevin Williams there with the interception. That's also going to be a point as long as the play stands. If it comes back, it won't, but that will be a point. Any defensive stop is 1 point.
Again, one of the many unique rules here in the X League as we are awaiting the call from the officials, but this one looks like it's... And that one's on the defense.
So it looks like they're going to take it, call it back. Referees for tonight's game, the officials, referee Kerry Rockwell, the umpire Scott Jones, linesman Pete Chavone, line judge Arthur Lucky, and the back judge is Tom Healy. And they're marking it back. And
it was half the distance to the goal, automatic first down, so it's first and goal now for the Soul at the 4-yard line.
Well, what looked like a great break and a great athletic play there by the attack turns into a penalty. And Rio Grande's knocking on the door just outside the 3-yard line. And Rio Grande breaks the huddle. Jacobs under center.
Looks like Antoine Hicks is going to go in motion.
And this time it's a pitch to the right side, and it's picked up by the attack at the 10-yard line. Back-to-back plays where the attack comes up strong, and there's no penalty flags on the field this time. So it's going to be first down, 10 yards to go attack with 10:14 to go in the first quarter.
Charles Henry really coming up big on that one.
Like I said on the play before, any defensive stop, turnover is going to be 1 point, so the attack would be one point for that one.
Let's take a look at the attack starting lineup. Mike McMullen, one of the MVPs in the league last year, quarterback, 6'6", 267-pounder. He leads the attack.
Yeah, McMullen was Offensive Player of the Year last year and is also an all-league quarterback.
In wide receivers, you got Johnny King, Chris Head, and all-world DeAndre Jackson. Daryl Grady, Stephen Davis, Xavier McKenzie, and Travis Triplett round out the starters for the attack. First down, 10 yards to go, ball on the 9-yard line. McMullen back to pass, quick hitter to the right side, and it's caught at the 14-yard line, and a nice first play by the attack. Oh, and there's a little, there's some smack talk going on.
This is kind of like a little flashback to the Expo right here.
There was a lot of smack going on in the Expo. What a great game. Went down to the final play of the game just about. But I tell you, these teams came to play tonight out here at the Family Arena on the banks of the Missouri River, and, I was in the locker room of the Soul, and there was some big boys in there. They had their game faces on, and they weren't playing.
As Chris Head gets flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct, and this is going back half the distance to the goal, so instead of being on the 14, it'll be second down on the 7-yard line. It looks like about 12 yards to go.
I think the referees are going to be calling a tight game tonight, Mike. It looks like they're all over it. They don't want the things to get out of control early, so they're setting a tone.
Yeah, they were being pretty chippy before the game. There was some mouthing going off before the X-Dash, and it looks like that's going to carry over.
All right, the attack break the huddle. 3-0 attack, 9:30 to go in the first quarter. McMullen behind center. This time he hands it up the middle, and a couple of yards by the fullback.
Yeah, Daryl Grady there. He had a good year last year. You don't see too much running, but the attack has been pretty effective at it.
One big note here in this league is that many of the running backs are more of the fullback mold than rather a traditional halfback variety.
They don't have much room to go east and west. It's pretty much north and south. So Johnny King, I heard a big sigh from the crowd, and I look over, and Johnny King, number 1 wide receiver, had his helmet ripped off. So they're not playing. McMullen behind center. Third down and about 13 yards to go, and there's a stoppage in play. Mike, there's a lot of cool things going on. There's a timeout on the field. We're going to keep it right here, but Mike, I know there's a lot of great additions to the St. Louis Attack this year, and you've got some fun stats and things that you put together in pregame.
Yeah, just some of the key returners so far. DeAndre Jackson was talked about earlier.
interesting to note here for this Rio Grande Valley team, they were regularly season champions in the Lone Star League they played in last year, but due to a quirk in the league, didn't make the playoffs.
All right, attack back. 3rd down, 13. 8:45 to go here in the first quarter. 3-0, low scoring so far. Wide receiver in motion. He's hit quick. McMullen back to pass. He's going over to the right side, and it's tipped and into the bench of the attack, and that'll bring up 4th down. And
Saquon Calhoun with tip pass right there, just out of the reach of DeAndre Jackson.
Mike was talking about some of the returnees, some of the newcomers for the attack. Hazelwood East products Charles Henry and Anthony Jackson. And former Francis Howland, Missouri standout Zach Abron. Got a Jamaican native, Xavier McKenzie, also, who played for the Florida Marine Raiders last year. How about that?
Anthony Jackson's a guy that I actually played against in high school. They beat us, Hazelwood East beat us to go to the state championship my junior year, and Anthony Jackson was part of that team.
All right, so the attack is going to go for a field goal at the goal line.
No punting in this league.
It's going to be I guess about a...
Looks like a 58-yard attempt.
Yeah. Snap back, it's a good one. Ball up. It looks like it's going to be short.
Yep.
And it's returned by the Rio Grande, back at the 5. 10, nice move up to the 10, 12. And knocked down is, looks like David Irizarry. Yeah. Irizarry. So what do you think? Zach Abron, a big star of the University of Missouri, coming out here and playing with the attack. We were out here, Mike McNeil and I, the other night doing a promo with Coach Chris McKinney. And Andrew Haynes, the owner, asked you, hey, Mike, you want to suit up this week? Just so you'd have a Nebraska player and a University of Missouri Tiger.
Yeah, I think the playing days are over, but it sure does look fun, and it looks like something I'd like to do.
So, Dave, what's going on the field right now?
Well, right now you've got the Rio Grande offense getting on the field, and by the way, it is now 3-1 because here in the X League, for those of you new to the format and new to the league this year, anytime you get a defensive stop, it's a point for the defense. So defense is definitely rewarded, and it also helps add to the excitement that you can, just by playing solid defense, add to it. But kind of a rough start for Mike McMullen. Maybe facing a little more intense defense than he was used to last year. McMullen so far very early on completed 1 of 2 passes on the opening drive for 5 yards. But we saw some signs of explosion here by the Rio Grande Valley Soul. Matt Parsons, or rather that's as a quarterback from last year in the last game. Omar Jacobs, 2 of 4 passing, 32 yards. But really in the red zone, or should we call it the X zone here, since this is the X League, the attack just really stepped up their defense. But it's going to be up for the defense to really carry it again here tonight.
All right, let's take a look at the St. Louis attack defense. Chris Casberry is a linebacker. Brian Lowry, defensive back. Got Jason Knoll, one of the standouts from last year. He's a defensive lineman and linebacker. He's a beast from Texas A&M, 6'3", 280. I mean, he's just a rock. Chris Cooper, defensive back and linebacker. And you got Marcus Dickinson from Cheyenne University. Mike McNeil's buddy. You got Kelvin Williams, Charles Henley, and Bernard Quinn. Bernard Quinn, one of the stalwarts from this team, 6'3", 290 from Southeast Missouri State University. And Bernard Quinn is also one of those guys that likes to do a lot of work in the community. So he's one of those guys that does it on and off the field for the St. Louis attack. 7:37 to go here. And it's 3-0 right now is what the scoreboard reads. And we're having a good time out here.
I'm pumped. Looks like a good turnout here for the opener, especially when you have other things maybe going on. But great low-cost way. You know, general admission tickets, easy to come by. Just a great place to either go out with the family, go out with the guys, girls' night out, you name it. Family Arena is the place to be.
All right, Rio Grande ball. They're starting out on the 17-yard line. Man in motion on the near side. Jacobs back to pass. He's got a man at the 20-yard line. Breaks a tackle up to midfield and down to about the 23-yard line. That was number 13, Antoine Hicks. And that's very close. Looks like he got a first down.
Yeah, great job. Just a quick out there and then breaking a tackle. Way to pick up the first down.
7:15 to go here in the first quarter. It's been a defensive battle so far. One of the previews of this game with Mike and I was how it could be a very high-scoring game. It still could be, but I tell you what, both defenses are out here and they're swarming.
Yeah, it's definitely an offensive league, but I talked to Coach McKinney, and he said that the St. Louis attack defense was going to be great this year, especially after how great they were last year. So even though it's an offensive league, look for the attack to play well defensively.
All right, first down, 10 yards to go. Jacobs back to back. He's got a big rush. He rolls to the right side. Here he comes down to the 15, and he bangs into the wall and gets a pretty nice gain there, and it's going to bring second down with 6:30 to go.
Knoll came on the blitz, almost got him, but then he was got caught down by Charles Henry, ran into the wall, and obviously running into the wall means you're down. A little bit different rule. You can run into the wall. You can play the ball off the wall just as long as it doesn't touch anyone in the stand.
How would Cam Newton do in a league like this? You had a chance to play with the number 1 pick.
I think he'd do pretty well. He's doing well in the NFL, and I think this league is something that he would thrive in. But I think anyone who's doing as well as he's doing in the NFL would probably do pretty well here.
Were you pretty good friends with him? I mean, he did throw you the ball in practice a lot.
We didn't hang out too much. Yeah, he was a nice guy, but we didn't do a whole lot of bonding.
I guess he was in a different tax bracket with you than you, I guess.
Yeah, he was big time.
So what else? What did you like? Did you like playing better for the Rams, or did you like playing for Carolina?
Well, it's special playing in your hometown. So I really enjoyed playing here. I got to have family and friends at every game. But all three of the organizations I played at were fantastic. Indianapolis, St. Louis, and Carolina. Just had great people working there. Really enjoyed all the towns, but it's obviously special to play in your hometown, and I really enjoyed it.
I remember when you made the St. Louis Rams roster, there was a preseason game against Baltimore. You had a very good game, and I remember all the press corps was kind of rooting for you, Mike, being from Kirkwood, and kind of a good story there. And I know you were real excited, and you're a great player and a great guy.
Well, I grew up doing interviews with those guys in high school, so I think when I got into the Rams locker room, I already knew half of them, so they were definitely cheering for me, and it was nice to have a little support.
Yeah, playing in Nebraska must have been a lot of fun, too. I mean, was the legendary Dr. Tom Osborne, did he spend a lot of time in practices or just hanging out at all? Did you get to meet him?
Yeah, Osborne actually became the AD when I was there, so he was around a lot, and definitely some of his philosophies were brought into our team.
All right, here we go. Second down. Looks like an offsides there, but Jacobs is back to pass. He's got his man. First down at the 7-yard line. That's Danny Young for the first down.
Yeah, a little crossing pattern there. Thought they were actually going to go to number 13, Antoine Hicks. Sometimes when that receiver's in motion, they're hard to stop, but good crossing pattern and good job by Danny Young picking up the first down there.
Now, I'd just like to make a correction. We had earlier reported that the score was 3-1. The officials ordered the scores here at the Family Arena to take the point off the board. They said that, I guess this is new to this year to the league, that since the ball wasn't tipped at the line of scrimmage, it doesn't get credit for a defensive stop, which, is news to me this year, but sometimes we see the rules as we go along here in the game of indoor football.
There you go.
So it is 3-0. The attack still on top.
4:52 to go. Jacobs under center. Jacobs, 3-step drop. Sidearm pass down towards the end zone. Touchdown, number 13, Antoine Hicks. And it doesn't seem like there's any flags on the field, so I believe it's going to stand. So a nice play there, just a quick drop. Jacobs kind of did it, sidearm shuffle over there to Hicks, and Hicks made a nice play, barreled into the end zone, and Rio Grande has the lead. Clock continues to roll, 4:16 to go. It's now 6-3, PAT to follow. Long snap count. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and it's good. Kick by Leo Arguez.
Veteran NFL punter. He's been around, had some time with Baltimore Ravens, Oakland Raiders, among other teams in the pros, but in his mid-40s.
Well, he can still play. I mean, Mike McMullen's probably 37. Mike, of course.
And that might even be his football age, too.
Yeah, we reported last year Mike played in the San Francisco Giants organization, and here he is playing in the X Bowl.
Rio Grande just did a normal PAT. I'd like to see them do the drop kick and go for 2. That's part of the rules. You can get 2 points if you do a drop kick instead of just the normal PAT, but I guess they're not going to go ahead and do that.
It could sometimes be a little risky. I remember the first Arena Football League game I saw, didn't even know what the rules were, but it was the St. Louis Stampede back at then Kiel Center. Went for the win in overtime on a drop kick, and they failed.
Well, it's 7-3 right now. There's 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. It seems kind of like a long first quarter, but it's been very exciting. I know Coach McKinney was a little bit concerned about the last couple of practices by the Attack. It seems like they've regrouped very well. Their defense is doing very well tonight. You know, I want to give a shout-out to the X-League. I mean, you know, it's not the NFL, but there's a lot of great athletes around here. There's a lot of great athletes from the St. Louis area, guys that played at big-time colleges and pro sports playing right here on this carpet out here at the Family Arena. And the Family Arena, what a great job they do out here, guys. I mean, they really put on a nice show.
They really livened up the place, too. A couple years ago, they added new high-definition video screens, ribbon boards in the end zone, so just an absolute big league presentation. And let me add, too, that I've always had immense respect for these indoor football players. You know, these guys are by no means making money playing on the rock-hard turf. You truly have to have a drive and a passion for the game to come in week and week out and play here in the X League or any of the other sister indoor football leagues as well. So kudos to them, and these guys deserve your support.
Yeah, I was talking to Marcus Dickinson the other day, and he said he just purely does it for the love of the game. Obviously, money's not really a factor, but some guys just still love the game and want to keep playing, and he's one of them.
All right, Arguez gets it out. DeAndre Jackson to the 15, 20. He's got a seam. He busts out down the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown!
Flag on the play.
Oh. And there's a flag one at the very end of the play. I'm not sure what it was.
This one may be coming back. I'm just glad he didn't get tackled by the kicker there.
Was it unsportsmanlike conduct?
Maybe a holding. There's
it was all the way down.
Right on the
That's
5-yard line.
On the 5-yard
yeah, I think
line?
it's going to be a holding.
Did that even need to happen, though?
No, he was going to get in.
Here, let's take a look at the replay right here. Jackson's got it well into the end zone. He busts out, shows that great speed, and he busts out to the right side. Oh, come on. You called that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The replay certainly looked like it was just a regular block. I mean, did he turn? What happened? I think that's a Bush League call right there.
But obviously the ref thought there was a holding going on.
I mean, all he was doing,
crew here,
he was running interference right there. He was running interference.
I think it was irrelevant to the play anyway. Yeah. I think DeAndre Jackson was going to score on that one regardless.
Oh, I think
35-yard return, though, officially.
Well,
yeah,
so the attack.
Not that starting position for the
Good
attack.
point. So 3:23 to go here in the first quarter. Great field position for Mike McMullen and the attack. They're going to call a timeout. You know, the Soul, they won their opener against the Georgia Rampage. They came back from a 21-point deficit in the fourth quarter against a very good Georgia Rampage team. Player of the week went to rookie wide receiver Cordrick Mobley and quarterback Omar Jacobs.
And we've seen just how explosive they've been here so far in the first quarter of this game. And let me add the Georgia Rampage, too. They were a startup team last year, kind of hastily assembled, didn't even have a home venue. So with a year under their belts, they, along with many of the other teams here in the X League, are forces to be reckoned with. I expect a lot of close battles.
So last week, Cordrick did finish the day with 6 receptions for 98 yards and 5 touchdowns. Omar Jacobs, playing in his first game in a Soul uniform, was 15 of 29 for 200 yards and 6 touchdowns, plus 1 rushing.
And
so
Jacobs,
they're not any kind of a rollover team. This is going to be a great game to the finish.
Yeah, Jacobs, a former 5th-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers as well.
McMullen back to pass. He's going for it all. And this one goes into the crowd and bounces back. So it's going to be second down for the attack with 3:09 and counting to go in the first quarter.
DeAndre Jackson went in motion and ran a post. Looks like if he had ran to the corner, he'd been wide open, but good defense there by the Rio Grande Valley.
That was a lot of fun in pregame. Isaac Bruce and Jackie Joyner Kersey in the house, exciting the kids. And I see Isaac Bruce right over here. Maybe we'll be able to get a word with him. There's Jackie Joyner.
I'll give up my mic for the Reverend Ike.
Yes.
As a kid, I had season tickets to the Rams, so I thoroughly enjoyed watching Isaac Bruce.
Sure.
Oh.
And there's an interception right there. Rio Grande, they bring it all the way out to the 30-yard line, breaking it up to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, interception there by Mike Grant Jr. Tipped off DeAndre Jackson's hands. Good play by him. That's a point also for Rio Grande Valley.
And joining us right now, we were just talking about, is Jackie Joyner-Kersey. Jackie, thanks a lot for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You know, you're out here again at the St. Louis Attack game, having a lot of fun, supporting the cause, and, you know, what brings you out here tonight?
Yeah, I'm out here on behalf of Mercy Hospital, and, you know, and watching the football game is just really wonderful, and, you know, I've never been to an arena game, and it's pretty exciting.
Well, this is a lot of fun out here. You see the fans having a great time, and they get to meet you, and, you know, have so much fun, and, you know, it's great for the community, isn't it?
Yes, it is great, and, you know, they put on a great show, and it's family-friendly and kid-friendly, and it's just really great.
So as one of the greatest female athletes of all time, as Jake goes back to pass, and he throws an incomplete pass, what's going on with you now? I mean, you still look like you're in great shape, and you could still get out there and, you know, and run the 200-meter or whatever you like.
Thank you so much. But anyway, you know, I still have my foundation over in East St. Louis, Jackie Joyner-Kersey Foundation and Center. We do after-school programs over there, and, you know, I've been training, staying in shape. Next weekend we have the Go St. Louis Go, and we representing Mercy, bringing people together to really think about, you know, fitness and get up and moving and being active.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we talk to Mr. Bruce?
No, I just think this is really great, and thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. Jackie Joyner-Kersey, probably the greatest athlete, female athlete of all time. And Jacobs completes it down to the 12-yard line, and right now we've got, we're going to get Isaac Bruce here with a minute. I know, Mike, you're going to want to join in on this one as well.
Hey.
And joining us now is Isaac Bruce, the greatest wide receiver in Rams history, and certainly one of the leaders of the greatest show on turf. Isaac, you make a lot of appearances here in St. Louis, and we love having you come back and support things like the X League. And are you having fun out here watching the
Having a great
indoor?
time, man. You know, it's quick and compact. Quarterbacks got to get the football out. Wide receivers have to do a good job getting open in this small, you know, complex, right, little field that we have right here. So it's important that everybody's on the same page.
All right, Jacobs back to pass. He goes towards the end zone. Touchdown. How about that? I tell you, you know, Isaac, the Attack last year made it all the way to the X-Bowl championship.
Right.
They lost at the very end of the game. It was just fantastic action. A lot of excitement out here. But this Rio Grande team came to play. I was in their locker room earlier. They were huge, and this should be a heck of a game.
Well, you know what? I was down on the field right before the national anthem got going. I heard these guys talking a little smack to each other. I was, you know, it kind of surprised me. I was like, wow, I've never seen this happen before, especially on any level. You know, two guys just not really respecting the anthem and just getting ready to get after each other. But, you know, from what I hear, this is probably one of the toughest tests that the Attack will face this year. So they're giving you all you want to see today.
All right, we're ready for the extra point. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and it's good.
My question for you is that in the X League, wide receivers can do the forward motion. What do you think about putting that in the NFL?
Oh, you know what? With 15,000 career yards, I think I would have doubled that. You know, you got a guy coming at you full speed before the ball even snaps. That's trouble, man. Especially for a guy like myself and the other guys I played with.
Isaac, you're sitting next to a gentleman that just retired from the NFL.
Okay.
Played with the St. Louis Rams, Carolina Panthers, and Indianapolis Colts. Mike McNeil, right here from St. Louis.
All right, Mike. All right, welcome, man. Welcome back home, man.
You know, Isaac, you always took care of yourself on and off the field as a player. I've talked to you before at your birthday party. You know, your body is like a machine. It's like a high-speed car. You guys both got out of the NFL relatively unscathed. I mean, you've got your health, you've got money, and you've got happiness.
I'll tell you what, it's all about the grace of God, man. Just put my trust in him to protect me while I was out doing what I was doing, trying to bust other people's heads up and not really getting my head busted up as much. So, you know, I came out pretty good unscathed, never had a surgery, only had hamstring issues for a couple of years, and that's pretty much it.
Fantastic, Mike.
Yeah, well, I got pretty lucky. Only one serious surgery, and that was on my shoulder and when I was in college, so it wasn't too bad. I did get body slammed, which made the NFL top plays, and I broke 4 ribs. So
in college, you played with Ndamukong Suh. I know you tried to avoid him as much as possible.
I definitely didn't get in Ndamukong Suh's way. That wouldn't have been good and maybe led to some injuries.
Well, Isaac, what's going on here in the future for you? I know you're doing a lot of charity work, and you know you're always around. Your presence in St. Louis is always so welcomed.
Well, the foundation is doing great. You know, we're making a huge impact here in the city of St. Louis and St. Charles as well. And, you know, I've hooked up here recently with Mercy. Got a good relationship going. And Jackie and myself, and we're pushing things with that, looking forward to doing more things and watching Mercy grow as maybe a sports facility.
No kidding. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you joining us, Isaac. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Man, just go attack, man. I mean, these guys were in the back. You know, they're kind of drawing at each other. And I just told these guys, you know, keep the dream alive. You know, we had some guys who retired kind of early in their careers. Guy out in San Francisco, Patrick Willis, a former teammate of mine, retired real early. But these guys would, I mean, if you had an open tryout for the Rams tomorrow, these guys plus 1,000 more would be ready to get into that next level in that league and show what they can do.
You know, I agree. There's a lot of great athletes. I mean, Zach Abron.
What you do, have it based and founded in fear. You want to go out and play the game as best you can. You want to avoid injuries as best you can, but you want to go out and do what you've been doing for, since you were 8, 9 years old.
So, Isaac, you want to do a little play-by-play?
Oh, why not? Why not? Might need a call sheet. So
here, let's give him a roster.
And there's all right, here we go. Little play-by-play. You play-by-play, I analyze.
How about that? I'll do play-by-play. Mike McNeil. He's going to sit here for a second, but we've got the Attack have got a 6'7" quarterback, Mike McMullen. He used to play baseball in the San Francisco Giants organization.
Really?
How about that?
You know, it's something about that game of football, man. You know, we're like the driving force for every other sport. Basketball, baseball, these guys come out, and they still have that dream of being that NFL quarterback, AFL quarterback, XFL quarterback.
Oh, McMullen gets it over the middle to DeAndre Jackson, who gets it right at the first down, and what a hit.
I tell you what, I was telling these guys before we came out of the locker room, keep your dream alive, and specifically to the wide receivers, make sure you can run a route in zone, sit down in zone, take a shot, get back up, spin the ball, and get back to the huddle.
13:55 to go. The score is 15-3. Rio Grande. Last year, Mike McMullen put up big numbers. He was the MVP of the league, top quarterback in the league.
Awesome.
DeAndre Jackson, number 11, was one of the speedsters, most electrifying players. This time it's a handoff up the middle. Grady to about the 16-yard line, and that's a first down for the Attack.
Hey, I tell you what, you're looking at and talking to a wide receiver who's truly all for the running game. I believe the running game opens up everything else that you want to do, and it's a good way of keeping the defense honest.
So here we go, 13-14 to go here in the second quarter. St. Louis Attack breaks the huddle. Johnny King on the far side. Jackson in motion. Mike McMullen under center. 4-step drop, quick hitter to the right side, and it's thrown out of bounds, and that'll.
One of the interesting things I just saw, you have this running start to the line of scrimmage, and you have the wide receiver still get jammed. That should never happen, man. You got a running start versus the defensive back. He's flat foot, and you run right into the guy. I don't understand that one.
I don't know, Mike. I think Isaac's a natural for play-by-play and to be a broadcaster here in the. Retirement days.
It's also easy for him to look at her out and say what needs to be done better because no one did it better than he did, that's for sure.
Hopefully Isaac Bruce will be in the NFL Hall of Fame in the next couple of years.
Thank you.
I mean, when you retired, your numbers were, I think you were second in 4 or 5 categories behind Jerry Rice.
I was pretty close up there. I think it was only 2 guys once I retired that ever reached 15,000 yards, me being one of them.
This time it's a quick hitter to the left side. That's a pitch. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Not much going on here. Isaac, do you think they could maybe open it up a little bit? They're trying to run it here. It's not working so hot.
I am all for always opening up, man. I'm one of those guys that say take a deep shot once a quarter. You know, make sure you feed them that running game, and then pow, throw the ball down the field, down the sideline, down the deep half of the field, and try to get a big play. I'm all about explosive plays, big plays anytime you want to get them.
Yeah, I feel like offensive players always have to say they like the running game. You know, me personally, I just pass every play, but that's just me.
All right, 11:29 to go. 15-3. Rio Grande. McMullen, this one is knocked down.
That's it.
And I'd say that's a very important. You know, a lot of defensive linemen, they're coming in on the rush.
Yeah.
How huge is it to get those big tree trunks up there, Isaac, and get in the face of the quarterback?
It's important. You can see the quick hit and play. The slot receiver did a much better job getting off the jam this time, and the quarterback just had the offensive lineman have to get the guy's hands down. It's too explicit for me to tell you on air how to keep those hands down, but I've seen it done many a time.
It's a lot of fun, though, isn't it? I mean, the balls go flying in the crowd. These guys diving in their stands.
Oh, yeah. The action is so close, you know. You can reach out and touch a guy, catch a ball, you possibly keep it.
You know, another thing about Mercy, what a great sponsorship and partnership it is between Mercy and the St. Louis Attack, because this is a rough and tumble game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the turf right here is not probably as I don't know, maybe as soft as at the Dome or the outside grass stadiums for sure, and you've got Mercy right here.
Right.
You know, right here in case anything happens, they're all over it.
Well, you know what? I got the scars to prove it. I played on this turf it started off here in St. Louis at Busch Stadium, so the turf looked just like this. You know, you go to cities like Philadelphia where they had the old vet, and the turf was just terrible, you know. So, you know, with Mercy being here, being on deck, some of the best doctors in the world, so they can come out and help these guys stay healthy.
All right, looks like a field goal attempt from the 24-yard line. It'll be a 34-yarder. Nall kicks it. He's got a big leg. And it's good.
Gotta love watching a defensive player kick field goals.
Yeah, a linebacker. Fantastic. That's pretty. You know, it kind of reminds me back in the old days. Was the kicker for the Baltimore Colts was it Curtis? He was like 280. You know, he was a toe kicker back in the day.
Right.
Isaac, I remember the first season the St. Louis Rams came to town, and I think you blocked a kick and scored a touchdown.
Lambeau Field.
Yeah,
you know
back-to-back
I always say I
plays.
never blocked the punt. I blocked the drop. He actually dropped the ball, and I swiped the ball out of here, and he kicks my arm. So my arm was throbbing for the next 4 weeks. But you know, we are football players. You got to play. You got to be ready on Sunday. So, you know, it was one of those exhilarating moments that happened in my life. A great play for St. Louis history.
So you had a little bit of a wing issue for a couple weeks there?
Oh, yeah, for a long time.
Well, I believe it was Rick Smith on the break right there coined you the Reverend Ike after that play, and that kind of went viral. I wasn't so sure at the time that was your favorite title, but it stuck with you over all these years.
It did stick, and you know, between Rick Smith and what's the guy, Chris Berman, they both want to take They both want to take credit for it. So, you know, it's a toss-up.
How about that? Those are some great times when you guys came to St. Louis. I remember you were telling me one time the seasons were changing when you were in L.A.
First time I've ever seen it.
You know, you can see the winter, the summer, the fall, the spring.
Yeah.
Well, we hope to continue to have NFL football here in St. Louis. Hopefully it'll be the St. Louis Rams.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, I know you played 1 year in L.A., and then you came here, had the bulk of your success in St. Louis. And I remember the day you walked off the field with Tiffany, one of the media ladies. You know, you played a couple of plays for the 49ers, and then you took your pads off. And what was that feeling like, walking off in front of the St. Louis crowd on your last game?
It was just so real. I mean, it was everything I dreamed of. They had seen so many of my great plays and great plays that, you know, the Rams had made, and I was a part of it, you know, since coming here from 1995, how the city just embraced the team. And, you know, you're talking only 20 to 21 years since we've been here. That's not very long at all. So I think the relationship has grown. I mean, we've averaged about 59,000 fans, you know, since the last time we went to the playoffs. So why not? I mean, it's a great city for football and should remain here.
All right. Rio Grande brings the ball back up to the 16-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go, 10:43 to go. So, Isaac, you having a good time?
I'm having a great time, man. You know, I love being in situations and atmospheres like this. You know, you see guys running down on the kickoff team. You know, I used to have coaches tell me you're always in a process of being interviewed. So even on a kickoff team, you never know who's watching. So you may have a special teams coach in here, and teams are always looking to make their squads better.
All right, so Rio Grande ball. First down, 10 yards to go. 10:35, we've got Isaac Bruce, one of the all-star NFL players, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, sitting in there with us for a few minutes. Mike McNeil from the St. Louis Rams, Carolina Panthers, Indianapolis Colts. We've got an all-star lineup here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We got one all-star. I don't know about a whole all-star lineup.
Hey, you ever put the helmet on, strap the shoulder pads up, you're an all-star, trust me.
This time it's a pitch around the left side, Rio Grande down. Great defensive pressure there by the right side of the attack defensive line. And, you know, I tell you what, they came up strong. The defensive side has been playing very solid.
Yeah, I mean, just like last year, they picked up where they left off. Last year, they did a great job. And so far, it's just continuing to be stout up front and covering the receivers and doing a great job so far.
One of the fun things, you see the fans down here with the mascot getting their pictures taken. The access here is so much fun, too. I mean, you can walk around, talk to the players during the game. And
bring a bag in the building.
Yeah. Bring some popcorn with you. All right. The crowd's starting to whoop it up. They know Isaac Bruce is in the booth with us. Jacobs back to pass. Long drop. He makes a move, goes over the middle, and it's caught. Great catch down to the 12-yard line. First
Antoine
down.
Hicks there with a crossing pattern. Great job getting the first down and picking up big yards right there.
Oh, without doubt. I'm all for quarterbacks buying time, buying that extra moment for a receiver to get open down the field, and these guys connect the way they just did.
I would say that's definitely something that's very underrated in quarterbacks, is having great pocket awareness and being able to move around and buy a couple extra seconds. That's when the big plays happen, that's for sure.
All right, first down, ball on the 11-yard line. Jacobs looks for the right side, back over the middle. Touchdown! Touchdown! Number 5, Danny Young and Rio Grande. They increased their lead, so it's been pretty much all Rio Grande so far on the offensive side, so I would look for the St. Louis Attack to do something exciting to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, that's tough for the defensive back right there. You get the receiver in motion and just runs a quick slant, and that's a touchdown. That's going to be tough to defend no matter where you are on the field.
It looks like the Rio Grande came to play tonight, man.
They're a big team. They came back from a 21-point deficit in their home opener last week against the Georgia Rampage.
Yeah, putting up, 58 points? They definitely know how to score, that's for sure.
Leo Arguez. Does anybody remember that name? With
Nobody's doing a good job, that's for sure.
Now it says 122-6. I don't think it's quite that lopsided just yet, but at 8:06 to go, Isaac Bruce joining us here. We'll be hitting halftime here. So what's the plans here for the weekend, Isaac?
Well, the weekend, this is the culminating end of a long weekend. We had dinner last night at the Ruth Chris downtown, which was really well. We had a chance to go to Mercy Hospital, do a little visit to some children who had a couple bumps and bruises. Did some coloring of eggs with the kids, and had a good time with them. Had their families in town. We took some photos, Jackie and myself. Really nice time.
Awesome.
My question is, did you get the lobster voodoo at Ruth Chris?
No, I didn't get the lobster voodoo.
Oh,
no lobster voodoo?
It's the best thing on the menu, there's no doubt.
I like the cherry peppers with any kind of steak there. It's really good.
Isaac, the Rams brought the Greatest Show on Turf team back in October on a Monday Night Football game. It seemed like a lot of you guys, you picked it up where it left off. In the tunnel at halftime, watching you guys just talk and reminisce.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that were rookies when they were rookies still seem like they're rookies even though they're 40 years old now.
Exactly. It's just exhilarating. It was fitting just to have the 49ers in town while everyone else was there.
So here come the attack back. They bring the ball up. DeAndre Jackson to the 12-yard line. Well, they'll start out first down, 10 yards to go. Are you doing okay on time?
I'm doing good. You know what? The Kentucky and Wisconsin game's getting ready to start, so I'm going to go back up and see can Calipari pull it off, man. Mike, good seeing you, man.
Joining us.
Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me, man.
All right, that's former NFL All-Pro Isaac Bruce. Thank you very much, Isaac, for joining us. What a treat that is, having a future NFL Hall of Famer join Mike McNeil, Dave Solomon, myself, Scotty Gherkin's in the house.
I don't get starstruck too often, but I was pretty excited to see Isaac Bruce. After having season tickets and watching him for years, that's pretty cool to get to do some play-by-play and some announcing with him.
How about that? Ball up to the 23-yard line. And Dave Solomon's been keeping statistics over there. Dave, you doing all right?
I'm doing all right. Maybe not as good as Omar Jacobs, but I'm doing just fine. I was more than happy to sit back and let the Reverend Ike take my microphone.
Yeah, you did. That was very nice. I was waiting for you to tap me on the shoulder and say, Todd, can I ask a couple of questions? But you kind of sat there in your chair and kept the stats going so we could keep the broadcast rolling. That was pretty cool. I didn't think he was going to stick around that long.
No, I think he was just excited to do some of this announcing.
He's good.
Yeah, he is. He's a natural.
I guess when you play at that high of a level I mean, you're really good. Dave's great. I guess when you play at that high of a level, you can just see things. Complete a pass over the middle, Mike McMullen. Things seem to be turning around a little bit for the attack. They're starting to mount a little bit of pressure right now, Dave.
Well, McMullen, he was only 2 for 8 passing going into this drive, but right here with the completion to DeAndre Jackson, just shy of a first down, so 9 yards. Jackson now with 2 receptions, at least for 18 yards.
Yeah, they keep putting him in motion. They got to get him on some deep routes and see
yeah,
if him and McMullen can hook up.
Yeah, he's got to be able to use his speed. That's where the attack were most successful, was Jackson and Head turning on the Blazers.
All right, McMullen, 2-step drop, sidearms it, and just behind King a little bit right there. King's calling for a foul. They're kind of roughing it up a little bit. And some of the guys on the defense are getting into it with the crowd.
I think he was yelling at McMullen there. I think he thought there might have been a little confusion on if he was supposed to keep going or hitch up.
They were definitely not on the same page right there.
All right, 5:53 to go in the first half.
Right now it's just 3rd down and not even 1 yard to go. Attack have the ball here on the Soul 17-yard line. McMullen under center. 1 receiver on the far side, 1 on the near side. Johnny King, he's the man in motion, motioning over to the far side. And there's more confusion. And it looks like, did the attack get a timeout called in time? No, they did not. We have flags on the field. I think it's delay of game.
So coming up at halftime, we'll have the Solomon Report. And Dave, we have in the can an interview with the coach of Rio Grande Valley before the game. Will you get a chance to check that out?
Yeah, we'll definitely play it. Just some interesting insight from Coach King. We were going to play it on the pregame show, but they quick started the game on us here. But with the penalty for delay of game, it is now 3rd down and about 6 yards to go.
22-6 Rio Grande. The broadcast team, Dave Solomon, Mike McNeil. I'm Todd Blackstock. We're bringing the St. Louis Attack action. The Attack 1-0 in the season, as is the Soul Rio Grande Valley. A tough matchup here. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and it's been a battle thus far. McMullen, 4-step drop, looks on the right side. He's going for it all. Touchdown! Touchdown!
Johnny King. Great call there by the Attack. They actually sent the man in motion, had him hitch up, and then sent Johnny King in behind and it fooled the defense. Great offensive call right there, and a good throw by McMullen to get the touchdown.
And how about that? That gives the St. Louis Attack some much-needed momentum right there as they're right back into this ball game.
Still waiting for a drop kick. Getting tired of these regular PATs.
Yeah, why not? Just do it. Do the drop kick.
Maybe wait until we have the X rules applying where you can make it a 4-point kick.
All right. Null boots it. And it's through.
You know, for being such a big guy, you expect him to do a toe ball. But I got to say, it's pretty impressive. He just walks out there and kicks it like a soccer ball.
So that makes the score. Rio Grande Valley 22, St. Louis Attack 13. 4:10 to go in the first half. At halftime, we're going to have our interview with the Rio Grande Valley coach. Dave Solomon got that before the game. We're looking forward to that. And we'll have the Solomon Report as well.
It's an action-packed halftime. You might have time to hurry up and get a cold beverage, but I wouldn't plan on going out for a stroll or anything unless you've got your smartphone in hand and are listening to Talk STL wherever you may be.
That's right. TalkSTL.com is now Talk STL 1380 AM. Got a big shakeup. We got a big lineup. Scotty Gherkin, the operations manager, has put together one hell of a team.
I am pumped with the new morning lineup. I mean, JC in the morning, and you have that Zav and the Rod show, whatever that show is from 9 to 11.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Zav and the Rod with Chris Rosavi and Todd Blackstock, yours truly. And look at this. They kick it off, and the Rio Grande player, Dave Irizarry, is tackled in the end zone. What great hustle by the Attack.
That'll be a point for the Attack.
I was going to say, if you don't get the ball out of the end zone and he gets tackled in, it's 1 point.
Well, it's awesome because you can see the momentum changing right now for the St. Louis Attack. They got that quick touchdown. I think it was all inspired by Isaac Bruce joining us on this broadcast here tonight. That's got to be it. Also, we've got the Jim Rome show right now.
1-3.
Yeah, it's going to be 1-3. Right now it's 12-3, and then the Kings court. Kevin Slayton, 12-3. I know Scotty Gherkin's got some other things up his sleeve, but it's taken off. There's a lot of excitement in St. Louis. 1380 bringing talk radio, sports, and much more back to relevance in St. Louis.
Oh, it's just exciting. So many veterans of the business on hand. I mean, Slayton, love him or hate him, you know he's always got an opinion on something.
And the crowd is getting restless and rowdy. And an interception! Out into the end zone! Touchdown! Jacobs threw it right in the arms
Marcus
of the attack player. Now there's there's a lot of mouthing off going on the field, and there's flags down. We'll see how this plays out.
That's nothing new there. Marcus Dickinson coming up with a clutch interception. That's actually 8 points as well. Defensive touchdowns are 8 points. So he carries over from last year with several big plays and comes up with a pick 8, as we call them now.
Yeah, that's your trademark term right there, Mike.
I coined that one. And also indefensible, which I haven't used yet because they haven't done it too much offensively, but I'm sure I'll start dropping that as well.
So it sounds like they're going to apply the penalty to the kickoff. And the score reads right now, St. Louis Attack 22, Rio Grande Valley 22. The Attack has come back to tie this thing up with 3:33 to go in the first half. And looking there on the sidelines on the Attack bench, you can see these guys, man, they're coming together as a unit. They're coming together at the beginning of the game. They came out flat. They got down. But now they've got the momentum on their side.
Yeah, well, they've had some roster moves, and so there's some new guys, so that always takes time to gel. But Marcus told me yesterday that they definitely upgraded, and that as long as they were clicking, they were going to be tough to beat.
So how are Mike McMullen's stats now, Dave? Oh, Dave's not on the headset.
Mike McMullen at this point, as we will not have a point after due to the penalty. But right now, Mike McMullen, 5 of 12 passing, 1 interception, 53 yards.
And here's the kickoff. And it's caught back in the end zone, about 4 yards deep, up to the 5. Back out to the 10-yard line. He's got a seam, 10, 20.
Flag on the play.
21-yard line, and Irizarry makes it up almost to midfield. It looks like he's hurt. It looks like he's hurt. There's flags. There's fights on the field. The crowd's going nuts. Folks, come on down and get your season tickets now to the 2015 St. Louis Attack season. There's a lot of excitement.
Chris McKinney, the Attack coach, is on the field trying to figure out what on earth is going on, all the while keeping his guys on the bench, staying on the bench.
Got to love Daryl Grady tackling the guy and throwing his hands up and acting like he didn't do anything.
And Chris McKinney is out there. He's fired up. He's fired up. He sees this team starting to gel as a unit right now. I love Chris McKinney's attitude, his emotion. You know, Chris McKinney was a hell of a wide receiver in his day. He played, South Carolina State? North Carolina State? He was a great player.
I think some of the chippiness from the beginning of the game is it's carried over. I thought it might die off, but it's continuing to go, and I think it's pumping up the Attack. They seem pretty ready now defensively, and maybe they'll get ready to make another pick 8.
No, it's definitely firing up the crowd. The crowd's starting to get in there. Nice little crowds filed in. All right, so the referees are getting together right here. They're going to – looks like they're going to march the ball back against the defense. All right, having a good time out here at the St. Charles Family Arena. Along with Mike McNeil, Dave Solomon, I'm Todd Blackstock from Talk STL, 1380 AM. Got a lot of exciting things going on. As a matter of fact, Monday morning, tune in to 1380 AM from 9 to 11 as Mike McNeil, my broadcast partner, will be in on Mondays. You're going to try to come in periodically on Mondays. You want to do every Monday? What do you think?
McNeil Mondays. That's what we're going with.
We're going to go with McNeil Mondays when Mike's not flying around the world, spending his millions of dollars.
I don't know about that.
He's made before retiring from the NFL. He's going to be joining Chris Razavi and I in the hookup with Zav on the Rod. Virtually every Monday we can get him. And Mike, I know you've got a lot of ties and a lot of contacts in the NFL and, you know, just around sports and great people in general. So I think you can offer a lot and help us get some great guests.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, after playing on 3 different teams and having friends from Nebraska, just all over the place, I got some guys that I think I'll be able to bring on. And, I'm thinking a good one to start out with might be Johnny Hecker. He's pretty funny, and I think I can get him on the phone. He'd be quite the interview.
Johnny Hecker, the all-pro punter.
Absolutely.
For the St. Louis Rams. What I'm looking for, I want you to get Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that one might be a little more difficult, but we were boys, so I think I might be able to swing something.
And Jacobs back to pass, and there's a bum rush up the middle, and he's sacked. How about that? Great defensive play.
Bernard Quinn, number 90, just like last year, picking up where he left off. That guy's a beast, and he's been holding it down for the defensive front.
Look at Bernard doing his little dance out there, Dave. The product, the Red Hawk from Southeast Missouri State University.
That's
Bernard.
Great seeing so many college players from the bi-state area, too. But Bernard Quinn, really, if Gerard Paul was maybe the boost of energy in the defense, Quinn was arguably one of the guys who brought the heart and soul, just a dominating presence, the immovable object, except when he's going after the quarterback on the defensive line for the attack.
Yeah, Gerard Powell had a kind of a rough year. He was a great player, but he got suspended for
emotional
for a couple of games, and then he broke his leg in 5 spots. That's got to be tough to recover from.
Apparently you're not allowed to punch players in this league. That's what got him suspended. I remember that game. But then, breaking his leg in 5 places, that's a tough injury to come back from.
At least he didn't break his hand when he punched the player. I always thought that was silly because in hockey you can punch guys, and it's great for the team, and it gets the crowd going. But in football, I mean, you got pads on, you got a helmet. You're not going to hurt anybody if you punch someone in the face mask.
Probably a lot more likely to hurt yourself, and I think it's just a little more accepted in hockey. Obviously, football, you're going to draw a penalty and get ejected. Hockey, it's just part of the game, part of the culture.
It used to be a part of the basketball culture as well. In the early days in basketball, guys would have so much pent-up tension. Instead of cheap shots, they'd duke it out, and maybe you'd call a technical on each player, but if you didn't think they were going to cause any more trouble, they'd stay in the game.
So, Mike, what do you think about all the new rules? They've really, designed to protect concussions and things, but some of them, I mean, if you got a pinky dragging on the side of a helmet, isn't that a bit extreme?
Yeah, you definitely want player safety, but I would say that sometimes it's tough to tell because you watch those replays and guys aren't getting hit helmet to helmet. It's just a shoulder, but, it's tough for the refs. In live, real time, it's hard to see, but you always want to protect the players, and I think they're definitely taking a cautious approach to it.
I think replays should be more involved on penalties like that because if it looks bad but nobody touched them, I don't think that the momentum of a game or a penalty should affect the outcome on a ticky-tack penalty that's definitely not hurting anybody.
Yeah, well, in college it is. That targeting rule, they go back and review that. The player can be ejected if he is targeting. But in the NFL, that's just –
one-handed catch! Oh, my goodness. Omar Jake throws it down to the right side, and it's caught by –
heck of a catch by Danny Young, number 5.
I mean, he just stuck his
one-handed.
It was almost like Velcro. I mean, is this the return of Fred Biletnikoff and Cliff Branch? Do they have Stickum on their hands? I would like to investigate that.
I would check them if I was Coach McKinney.
I mean, that was Velcro, dude.
That might make the top 10 countdown on ESPN right there.
That should make the top 10
That was pretty special.
Wow. I wonder if Isaac Bruce ever made a catch like that.
I think he made more than one like that.
I bet he did, too.
I think he made one of those a game.
Isaac Bruce, Jackie Joyner joining us here in our booth. I felt bad. I think that we kind of slighted Jackie a little bit. We got her in for a few questions. She was
so much greatness here tonight.
I don't think she was ready to start doing broadcasting for the games. I think she checked out quick. I just wanted to challenge her to a race, but I didn't get time.
You think you could take her?
She's
probably 47.
I think right now, I think I got a chance.
You got a shot?
I got a chance right now, I think.
I don't know. How old are you, 27, 28?
27.
You're in your prime, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can get her.
All right. I'd put some money on this one. Arguez at the 10. He puts it up, and there's a penalty flag, and the kick is no good.
I jinxed him. I told him he was doing good, even though we didn't know who he was, and now he's missed it.
There's 1 minute left here in the first half. 28-22, Rio Grande Valley over the St. Louis Attack. Both teams undefeated. It's a battle. Illegal procedure on the defense. So I guess they're going to fire this one back up again. That's tough because Arguez missed the PAT, so you get a penalty like that is going to give him a second chance.
Although being a couple yards closer, this would be the perfect time for a drop kick if the Soul wanted to really stick it to the attack.
Well, I guess they declined the penalty because the ball is still being kicked from the 10. And this time, Arguez nails it right through. So with 1 minute to go here in the first half, the score.
I thought they might just go for a regular.
Attack 22.
For a regular two-point conversion there. They moved up half the distance and didn't really take advantage of the opportunity right there.
Well, in this league, too, you've got the shorter field as well, so you run a greater risk of if you have it intercepted, then all of a sudden, you know, what could have been a 30-22 game all of a sudden becomes just a 4-point game as well. So it's a little riskier than in the NFL where it's 2 points, and if, God forbid, something goes wrong, then
Travis Triplett, offensive lineman, St. Louis Attack. Follow us on Twitter at St. Louis Attack. Follow us on Facebook, St. Louis Attack.
Texas and a couple regional rivals. Bloomington Edge, you know, we used to have a great rivalry here when the River City Rage played here with the Bloomington Extreme. So it's great to have the Edge, you know, by far the closest team, you know, 2 to 3 hour drive depending on where you live in the area.
Hey, great shot of Andrew Haynes and his lovely wife.
Andrew Haynes and his wife Leah doing a great job running the attack, as well as the St. Louis Ambush, who concluded their second season here on Talk STL 1380 as well.
I'd say I got to give Andrew Haynes a lot of credit. He works the circuit, doesn't he? I mean, he's out
everywhere in the community promoting his team.
I see him down at Rams games, and he recruits Isaac Bruce, Jackie Joyner to come to the games. At the same time, he's down in the VIP area, entertaining clients and VIP and season ticket holders. Folks, come on out and get your season tickets to the X League. The St. Louis Attack. Very, very exciting action out here at the St. Charles Family
As Aragaz takes the kickoff and kicks it into the stands on the sideline. So the Attack, with 1 minute to go here in the first half, will have some great field position as they'll start the ball 1st and 10 on the 20. And for those of you who weren't aware, because, you know, when you have Reverend Ike and Jackie Joyner-Kersey on, sometimes the game takes a back seat, but during most of the game you'll have a running clock, but here in the final minute of each half, a standard clock applies. So anytime a ball goes out of bounds or you have an incomplete pass or a score, the clock will stop here in the final minute of the half.
McMullen, quick hitter to the right side to King. King's got it, nowhere to go, spins around and gets slammed into the boards.
Yeah,
second down and long.
With only a minute left, a little surprised to see a wide receiver screen right there and not take a shot.
Well, the clock stops at 55 seconds. It's 29-22, Rio Grande Valley over the Attack. Very tight first quarter. Second quarter, the Attack came up, got a little bit of momentum, and one of the best players in the league, quarterback Mike McMullen, is going to try to lead the Attack to victory here from behind. This time he hands it off around the right side. Oh, God. The helmets come flying off. Number 55 on the defensive side.
That was Walls right there.
That was Zach Abron, and Abron's limping a little when he got up. Abron maybe gained 2 yards on the play.
Oh, no.
Rio Grande still has 1 timeout left. Attack out of timeouts. 37 seconds to go and counting.
God, you hate to see. Is that Zach Abron?
Yeah, that's
He's
Abron.
not a little guy either. He took a shot.
He's
there
230. Looked like on this target, you know, on the carpet, he got his legs stuck under him a little bit. And number 55, Wallace, just pinned him down. McMullen throws it, and it's blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Kenny Townsend just batting that one right down. So we have 17 seconds to go.
When halftime rolls around, we're going to take a 3-minute commercial break. Then we're going to come back with Dave Solomon's interview with the head coach of the Rio Grande Valley Souls.
Yes, I had a great talk with Benny King. King has some experience in the Arena League, but this is kind of new to him with indoor football. New league for the Soul as well, so some very interesting points. A lot of veteran experience, as we mentioned, on the Soul as well. So we'll talk to Benny King, and I'll have a little Solomon report. That all coming up on the halftime show in just a bit.
4th down and 6, 17 seconds to go. Jackson in motion. McMullen back to pass. Flag on the field. Going to the end zone. Incomplete. Nice coverage by the defensive back, Irizarry, who goes both ways.
That one was intended for Eric Evans. He just got a hand on it, but not enough.
Surprised to not see DeAndre Jackson out there right now. He's the deep threat. He's having a good game so far. A little surprised he's not out there with only 13 seconds left.
And that one was offsides on the defense, so the attack get it again. It'll be 4th down and 1 now on the Rio Grande 22-yard line.
Well, with 13 seconds left, you might consider doing a short pass or even a run and then coming back and taking a shot at the end zone.
You just need to make sure that whatever play you do, if you're not going for the end zone, you need to make sure to get that stoppage, because with 13 seconds might not be enough time to race to the line of scrimmage, and the attack are out of timeouts for the half.
All right, 4th down, ball on the 22-yard line. McMullen under center. Quick drop down the right side into the crowd. Incomplete over a group of yellow shirts over there, the Lions. So the Lions group are out here tonight.
Yeah, just a quick out there by Eric Evans.
So with 8 seconds left, 8 seconds to go in the first half, it's going to be Rio Grande Valley ball. And I would expect them to take a shot. Why not?
I'd say put the receiver in motion, let him run a deep route, and take your chances.
As long as you don't get picked off, you have nothing to lose.
The score right now, Rio Grande 30, St. Louis Attack 22. It's a close game as far as X-League standards go. So, folks, don't go anywhere. And, folks, if you're in the neighborhood, if you're in Maryland Heights or off Highway 70, Highway 40, we've got a great second half going on here ready to happen at the St. Charles Family Arena. So if you want to come out here and watch some fantastic indoor football, this is the place to do it.
Yeah, the first quarter was all Rio Grande, and then the second quarter, the attack really picked it up. It's turned into a heck of a game so far.
Attack defense has really been carrying them as well.
All right, Jacobs back to pass. He's going towards the end zone. Oh, what a great play. Was that
Brian Lowry was all over that one. He got a couple hands on it. Looked like Dickinson may have been in on that one as well. If anything, they may have, while they were able to successfully bat it down, they may have gotten each other's way when it came to getting the pick as well. But with 3 seconds left, Rio Grande Valley will have one more chance to try to go for the end zone.
Lowry going both ways, too, playing a little receiver on the last offensive possession by the attack, and now out there playing defensive back. You don't see that too often, but obviously he's got the skills to do both.
And, folks, next week it'll be right back here at 7:35 with the Bloomington Edge. Bloomington's going to come in, a new team to the league. And if you look at the X-League standings right now, after week 1, Rio Grande Valley is in first place. Cape Fear Heroes at number 2, Bloomington Edge number 3, and the Attack number 4. All these teams are 1-0, but the standings are by score.
As Rio Grande Valley taking their final time out of the half here. So it's very exciting. In Bloomington, there was such a great rivalry for those of you new to the sport. That may have been the River City Rage's biggest rival because, you know, we've got Bloomington that's 160 miles away from downtown, maybe 180 here from Family Arena. So, you know, it'd be a great one. I've talked to you guys, Todd and Mike, about maybe doing a Talk STL 1380 road trip to Bloomington if we could pull it off. I mean, it's that convenient. You can literally be there and back in the same day. You don't even have to leave work more than maybe an hour or two early. So you got two teams really close by.
We'll get Scotty Boom. We'll get Scotty Boom Boom a suite at the Indianapolis DoubleTree for that night.
Indianapolis?
How far is that?
Indianapolis is much further away. You don't even need
About
a suite.
4
You
hours.
can be back at home in your own bed.
I used to drive in it.
Yeah, but road trips are fun.
Yeah.
Road trips are awesome.
Bloomington's not, from downtown, it's not even 3. Downtown St. Louis.
All right, folks.
Very manageable.
This will be it right here.
Bloomington, Illinois, I should add, for the Edge.
And there's a penalty on the play.
Probably going to get a false start here.
Yes, Bloomington, Illinois. I gotcha.
We're not talking Indiana. They're not playing at Assembly Hall. I think Tom Crean has stunk up that joint enough for one season.
False start on Rio Grande, moving back 5.
This has been a pretty long minute. This minute's probably been 10. But you know what's so much fun? You got DJ Prue in the house, just killing it. I mean, you can come down to the Attack game and watch great football action.
Prue killed it at the Rams games, too.
Yeah, listen to DJ Prue. DJ Prue's going to be on our show in the next couple of weeks. The hookup was Zav the Rod. Here's the last play of the first half.
Bernard
It
Quinn.
looks like
Wow.
Quinn
Unblocked.
sets the quarterback Jacobs down at the 8-yard line.
Running
and
back.
that will do it.
Running backs and O-line are having a discussion right there. Someone screwed up their blocking assignment, leaving big number 90 Bernard Quinn to go hit the quarterback.
Chris McKinney, the coach of the Attack, is out on the field right now, clearing some things
He might
up.
have been questioning some of the scoring because in the rules that we had, for every time there's a turnover on downs, there's a point, but we haven't seen any of that here in this game, so we might have a new set of rules for this season here in the X League. Although when you think about it, you know, given who's gotten the scoring, it's probably benefiting the Attack right now, given some of their turnovers.
All right, folks, at halftime, it's the Rio Grande Valley Soul 30, St. Louis Attack 22. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes with our halftime report with Dave Solomon. We'll be back. You're listening to TalkSTL.com, 1380 AM, live, mobile, and on demand.
If you have a pool table, you need to know St. Louis Billiard Repair. They can make your own table program. They can take all the storage and
Hi, this is Chef Larry G. with Championship Catering. We cater all your special events, including weddings, banquets, and more. Be a guest at your own party. Check us out at championshipcatering.com.
To St. Louis Attack football here on TalkSTL.com. I'm David Solomon, along with Todd Blackstock and Mike McNeil, and I am joined by the coach and general manager of the Rio Grande Valley Soul, Benny King. And Coach King, you're playing a team that went 8-0 last season in the regular season. Just what type of challenge does the Attack provide?
Well, they offer a great challenge for us. You know, anytime you come into a home situation like this, you know, Coach McKinney knows the game. You know, these guys are well prepared, so we're looking forward to it.
All right, 15 seconds, Solomon.
I know our guys are ready.
And Coach, we were just talking a little before the interview.
Wait, no, sorry, I gotta go to break.
You have a lot
My
of
bad.
players with a significant professional experience, AFL, arena football experience, some guys even with NFL experience. Just how does that help you in a league like this?
Well, obviously it helps in regards to professionalism, having guys that know how to prepare and be able to go out and show some of these young guys, what it is to be a pro. So, we try to lean on those guys for veteran leadership, mix it with the young guys, and, try to have a good product.
And, Coach, this is obviously not only is this your first year in the league, but it's also Rio Grande's first year in the league. Just what type of adjustments do you have to make to the X-League scoring quirks, like the X-dash and the X-rolls in the final minute of the game?
Well, we have some very unique ways to score in the X-League, as well as some unique rules in regards to what the linebackers can do. My background is more arena style, so, we've had to adjust to that, knowing also that in the fourth quarter, ball clubs can come back. So, we try to tell our guys to do is just to stay efficient, through those 3 quarters of play and, be prepared for that, X scoring that occurs during that fourth quarter.
Now, an interesting fun fact here for those of you listening on TalkSTL.com. Rio Grande Valley, they were regular season champions of the Lone Star Football League, went 8-4, did not make the playoffs despite being regular season champions. Now, Coach King, I know it's your first season with the team, but do you think there's a chip on some of the guys' shoulders after basically getting snubbed by being the best in the league last year?
Well, definitely. I mean, that's an organization.
Yes, sir.
Say it with me again. Shamrocks. 70.
And old rivalries are renewed. It's time for baseball. Cardinals baseball. You might not know all the player stats, but you've always been there to cheer them on. It's not the numbers that move you. It's the sights and sounds of the ballpark.
Phone means hassle to some, to others, catastrophe. Don't replace it, repair it. CPR has 8 area locations to fix it and get you on your way. Cellphone repair-stlewis.com. Your phone has water damage? CPR can fix it. Cracked screen? CPR can fix it. Broken tablets, laptops, game systems, or any other device? CPR can fix it. Cellphone repair-stlewis.com. 8 locations in the St. Louis Metro. Cellphone repair-stlewis.com to find a store near you. CPR can fix it.
The weekend of April 17th, 18th, and 19th is loaded with great giveaways for fans coming up at Busch Stadium. That weekend, the Cardinals take on the Cincinnati Reds. Friday, April 17th, the adult zip-up hooded sweatshirt. Saturday, April 18th, the Yadier Molina Gold and Platinum Gloves bobblehead. Sunday, April 19th, it's the Kids Baseball T-shirt giveaway. Great giveaways on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of April. Tickets available at cardinals.com/promotions.
30 seconds.
This is Seth Maness. And I'm Lance Lynn. When we're out in the bullpen, it can be a bit chilly.
I'm gonna bed some music again, and you'll just come on in.
That's why on April 17th, we're giving away the adult zip-up hooded sweatshirt.
25,000 fans, ages 16 and older, will take home the sweatshirt.
We'll see you on April 17th when we take on
10 seconds.
you know, for being a first year and all of us kind of been thrown together last minute with Coach McKinney coming in right at the beginning of camp last year, I expect a lot more from us, from us being more comfortable with each other and knowing the system a little bit more. So we'll build off that success from last year. I used to play professional baseball, San Francisco Giants, and then I played a little bit with the River City Rage, Show Me Believers, when they were here. And then last year I just kind of came out of nowhere just to play, see what, you know, just to have a little bit of fun, and ended up becoming the starter. So like I said, it was a lot of fun, great organization, and you know, this year, you know, anything but getting to the championship game again would be a failure. Our timing's still a little off. The players are fantastic. You know, we've definitely brought in some really good players. Offensively, it's all timing and spacing and things that come a little bit more slowly than what the defense has to get. So right now they're a little bit ahead of us, but our defense was the backbone of our team last year. And I believe in this league, you know, your defense, if you limit the other team to, you know, 3 touchdowns, you're going to win. And that's what we were good at last year. And us as an offense want to take some of the pressure off the defense, so they're not, you know, in arena football, it's hard to pitch a shutout. So obviously we want to, as an offense, be more productive, score some more points, and take the pressure off of them. I don't see why we can't. I feel we're a better team than last year. I know the league is better. They brought in more competition, but we've also brought in better players. We know the system. Most of us have been together now for a year, which I think goes a long way from last year. We're putting in a lot of new stuff because of the new talent. So I think we've just evolved as a team from last year to this year. I think Coach McKinney's learned a lot. He knows what to expect out of us, and we know what to expect out of him. So that's going to go a long way into our success.
Can't take no more. Just remember what you hear, cause I know I'm a damn sure.
Some of the throws, being a little bit more patient, knowing what coach expects out of some of the plays. The design of some of the plays I'm more comfortable with now. He's able to implement more things because I understand what he wants. So getting used to the new receivers and running backs and the new O-line and stuff like that takes a little bit of time. Excuse me. That's what we've struggled. That's what we've struggled with the first few days of camp, timing. But like I said, that is one of those things to where it will come. I think back to last year, and it was the same deal. You know, our timing was a little off, but it's gotten better each practice, and I expect us to be ready to go on March 29th.
What we gonna do, kid?
That will taste better from the corporate beer you've been drinking all your life. Exit 6 was founded and is run by beer guys. They know what's good and will only carry the best the industry has to offer. If they don't drink it, they won't sell it, plain and simple. They open the doors daily at 4 p.m., 7 days a week, right off of Highway N in Cotterville, 5055 Highway N to be exact. Exit 6 Brewery, doing what they do best, BEER beer. Exit6brewery.com. Cheers. We'll see you there.
A broken phone means hassle to some.
30 seconds.
lot of fun down here at the St. Charles Family Arena. Great job, Dave Solomon, on the halftime interviews, pre-games. Thanks for stepping aside for Isaac Bruce and Jackie Joyner for us. We really appreciate it.
Any time for greatness. I love to hear myself, but I think most of you would rather hear the Reverend and JJK than me.
You know, Isaac,
we like you, but we love them.
I know.
When he was a player,
same with me.
He was kind of quiet as a player, but now he's retired. And
Isaac was a very quiet player, but when he opened his mouth, he always had something very pointed and intelligent to say.
This is true. He just didn't blab on. He pretty much knew exactly what he was talking about. St. Charles Family Arena, what a great place. Opened up in 1999. Seating capacity, 10,000 seats in this place. It's a great exhibit place, banquet room, 2,500 square feet.
It's been home to a couple championship teams as well.
Oh, yeah.
Who can forget it's been 15 seasons since the debut of the St. Louis Swarm, back-to-back IBL champions. Noted fame of they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jr., that is.
So, folks, if you need some, to have a big party, events, the St. Charles Family Arena is definitely a great place. Well, we're getting set for the second half action. Rio Grande coming in here leading the division in first place, and they're leading this game 30-22 over the St. Louis Attack, who are currently in fourth place. Next week, we'll be right back here.
The Bloomington Edge.
Bloomington Edge. How about that? And then they're going to go on the road to Marion for the Marion Blue Racers out of Veterans Memorial Coliseum. That'll be April 18th. April 24th, it'll be St. Louis Attack hosting Marion. And the kickoff, and we are just underway.
Leo Aragas, despite the NFL experience, he's having a little trouble keeping the ball in this short field.
You know, one thing I remember Isaac Bruce saying is he said there's a lot of guys on this field right here that could go out and compete in an NFL camp. What do you think about that, Mike?
Well, you know, I think some of these guys have already played in the NFL, and some of them just are, you know, continuing to play because they love the game. They've gotten a little bit older. I'd say it's a little bit of a different competition. There's different rules and there's things about it, but absolutely, these guys are great athletes, and I think if you put them in a camp, some of these guys would do all right.
Quick hitter up the middle. Fullback up to the 25-yard line. Was that Darryl Grady?
Yes, it was. Darryl Grady Jr. doubled his rushing total, 5 yards on that one. Third carry of the game, 10 yards total.
I hope we see Zach Abron back. You know, one of the great players from the University of Missouri coming out here to play with the Attack, and he was injured in the first half. So we wish him all the best.
Yeah, he took a shot from Jermel Walls. I mean, he just got blasted, and when he got up, he did not look good. Hopefully he'll be able to return here in the second half.
Second down and 5. We're just underway. 14:21 to go in the third quarter. McMullen, three-step drop. Going down the right side. He's going for it all. And into the crowd. Incomplete. That'll bring up third down with 14-12 and counting here in the third quarter.
It's looked like McMullen just been lacking chemistry with some of the receivers. I mean, Johnny Keene most notably, as this one was intended for King. He had a window where he could deliver the ball, but it just seems like that King and McMullen have been a step or two out of sync, and that's really cost the Attack on offense and really prevented them from getting any momentum going in the passing game.
We just saw the replay right there. And, you know, I guess this is the second game of the year, or they're still trying to get some of their chemistry together, like you said. I guess practice and a lot of reps are the best way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something you just got to work on. You know, repetition is what counts, and you know, it's only the second game. Obviously, hopefully by the end of the season they'll gel a little bit more.
McMullen, a quick throw over the middle is incomplete.
It was batted down.
Chris McKinney, the head coach of the Attack, is out on the field, and he's talking over McMullen right now, and it looks like they're trying to get on the same page.
Some of these routes they're running off the motion receiver are a little bit different than what I normally see. I saw some quick outs and some stop and hitch, and it's just not what they were doing earlier. They were sending them deep and taking some shots, so hopefully they'll get back to that.
We're at the 13-minute mark of the third quarter. Movement, penalty on the field, and McMullen throws this one away, and there is a flag down. We'll sort this one out. McKinney's back on the field.
I think DeAndre Jackson might have been held on that one. He was the man in motion, but again, just a quick out by him, not challenging him deep.
It was interesting at the end of the year last year, guys. Dave, you'll remember Robert Kent played a lot in the X-Bowl championship last year, and he was a late season acquisition. He had pretty good wheels. He's not on the team this year. I was interested, though, how much he did play in the X-Bowl last year for him not to be back.
Well, I mean, I think McMullen, you got the Offensive Player of the Year, and in this league, roster spots are at a premium. That might be something we have to ask Chris McKinney going into next week's game, because right now McMullen, your boomer bust with him is he hands it off to Daryl Grady, and Grady gets it up maybe 3 yards on the gain after the 5-yard penalty that gave the attack a first down. So it looks like it'll be second down and about 7 to go.
Yeah, this is a tough league to run the ball in. Just in general, it's more of a passing league. But Daryl Grady does a great job of getting north and south, putting his pads down and running over people.
Moving on with the schedule, May 2nd, the attack will be in Bloomington, taking on the Edge at U.S. Cellular Coliseum. May 24th at 7 p.m., the attack will be in Rio Grande Valley at State Farm Arena. Then they're going to be winding things down at the end of the year right here at the Family Arena versus Corpus Christi. The Fury will be in town. So interesting. Last year there was a lot of trips to the East Coast. This year a lot to Texas. McMullen back to pass. He throws it towards the end zone. It's caught, and into the stands goes the wide receiver.
Chris Head, it looks like.
Wow, he's got the dreadlocks.
That was McMullen's only option on that play. DeAndre Jackson and Johnny King actually ran into each other because I believe Jackson got jammed into King.
Look at the replay. He goes flying into the crowd, back first, and the fans hold him up. Great exciting X-League action out here at the St. Charles Family Arena. Folks, you want to get your season tickets. It's a lot of fun. They gain momentum each game. The crowd goes nuts. DJ Prue's out here cranking the tunes. This is just great family fun action. 10:50 to go here in the third quarter. Man in motion to the far side.
Again.
McMullen.
Touchdown.
Pitch to the left side. Grady, touchdown. How about that?
Motion the receiver away, have no one on the left side, quick pitch to Grady. There's no way he's not getting that.
You know, McMullen looked to Grady, and he wasn't where he thought he was going to be. So it was good that McMullen had the fortitude to not just pitch it blindly, because he pitched and he kind of hesitated. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I like when those big guys make the dance like that. You see that? So right now it's
30-28, so a 2-point conversion would tie the game, either 2 points the traditional way or the drop kick, but it looks like the attacker going for the conventional point after. But it's a fake. It's a fake. And the holder, Chris Head, runs into the end zone. 2-point conversion. We have a tie game.
I think they were reading your mind, Dave.
Yeah, that was a great call by Coach McKinney. They've been kicking extra points the whole time. We've even given them a hard time for doing it. Great call there by Coach going for 2 and getting a successful 2-point conversion.
So with 9:56 to go in the third quarter, it's all tied up. St. Louis attack 30. The Soul 30. And we got a lot of football ahead of us. I tell you, the front office of the St. Louis attack is first class all the way. CEO Andrew Haynes. At age 19, Andrew Haynes created his first business in the commercial construction industry. Is that amazing? We wonder why he's so successful.
Well, he's owned so many. Since then, he's owned so many minor league franchises. He's added roles in leagues. I know Andrew Haynes has played a very integral role in founding and running the X League, and just a lot of unique wrinkles. I mean, especially with the final minute of the game, where even if it's a 20-point game, you're never out of it. But it's just a lot of fun to watch. Great place to bring the kids. I mean, we'd love to see maybe 3,000 more fans here at the Family Arena next game. If you can't come out, you can either watch the broadcast or listen to us on Talk STL 1380. And with Talk STL now being on 1380, any chance maybe we can get the games actually on the radio at some point?
At some point, we've got to get a different nighttime signal. But, there's a lot of engineering type things.
There's a lot going on.
And cash.
But at some point, I mean, a great place where even if you don't have a computer, you can keep up on the attack as well. I'm sure you'll have some guests on your show, Todd, as well.
And here we go. Null with a kick, and he squibs this one down the left side, and it bounces into the ground. You know, a unique fun fact. Look at that. Holy cow, the fans are going crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but Noel doesn't actually do the kickoffs. Chris Kaspari does, and I'm not really sure why. Noel does a great job kicking. Must have a bigger leg on Kaspari.
I think when Noel kicks it, he lofts it. He gives him a lot of time to get under the ball and get a return. And they're doing the wave out here. You know, Corey Adamson, talking about roster spots, Corey Adamson was not on the roster this year. He played for the ambush and the attack last year. Good soccer player.
Ambush traded him to Milwaukee this year. He was traded to the Milwaukee Wave. Ambush just looking to maybe mix up the chemistry a little this season. But
it's
Ambush
hard
got
to
some
have a roster spot with a kicker that's only a kicker.
Oh, exactly. In this game, I remember the River City Rage in the 2006 season. They were putting up 100 points a game on several occasions, but played almost the entire regular season without a kicker. They just always went for two and usually made it.
Sounds like a lot of the public high teams.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, folks. First down, 10 yards to go, Rio Grande. Jacobs back to pass. Beats the rush, and he goes down!
Well, he's the second sack of the game for Quinn.
God, he's a beast.
Third. Absolute force for him.
I love that. Talk about guys you would think could maybe play at the next level. A guy that's, 6'3", 290, nose guard, tackle like that. I mean, he looks like Ndamukong Suh.
In the 2 years, well, I played with Ndamukong Suh. He's not quite him, but he's pretty good. In the 2 years that I've watched him play, he's been super disruptive. He's done a great job, and he's definitely got talent, that's for sure. The pressure there was applied by Noel, but finished off by Quinn. The front for the attack has been great the last 2 seasons, and it's definitely been impressive to watch them work.
Folks, if you're in the St. Charles area and you're listening to the broadcast, come on down. There's 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. We're all knotted up at 30 apiece. There's plenty of time to check in here and see great fourth quarter action. Jacobs back to pass. He's got his man. Great catch. Velcro hands right there by Antoine Hicks. He looked like Hakeem Nicks on that play.
Yeah, you know, he was the man in motion and ran a quick out. In this league, if you're the guy in motion, you got to be open every play. You got to win. And that was a great job by Antoine Hicks right there, getting open, making a nice catch, and taking a pretty big hit as well.
That puts Hicks up to 95 yards receiving on 6 catches here tonight.
Got about 6:45 to go here in the third. And they're discussing things with the quarterback of Rio Grande Valley right now. Awesome physical specimen, Omar Jacobs. Right now the attack is trying to get the crowd going. Brian Roth doing an outstanding job as the public address announcer, a new guy up here this year. Not new with the team, but new with public address, and he's doing a great job. And this time it's a handoff up the middle. Looks like a first down, and it will be a first down for the Soul.
It's not too often that you get quarterbacks that are the size of linemen, but Omar Jacobs and McMullen for the attack, they're both big guys, and they definitely match up with some of the linemen out there, that's for sure.
You know, this indoor game is where the likes of Kurt Warner came from with the Iowa Barnstormers. Now, I think that playing in the indoor league first really helped Kurt because he could pick up the blitz so fast because he's constantly having people in his face, and you get so in tune to that when you get some decent blockers like NFL linemen around you, you buy a little more time like that, it really seems to slow the game down. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it earlier, just having good pocket presence and how that can make a great quarterback. And in this league, that's something that's mandatory. And with guys getting on you in 2 seconds, you got to have the ball out quick, and you got to be aware of the pocket. That's for sure.
Jacobs gets his man over to the, the 20-yard line. That's Cordrick Mobley, who had a huge game last week. I think he had like 5 touchdowns in their victory over the Georgia Rampage. And nice catch right there for the young man.
Back to the Kurt Warner thing real quick. Just a quick release is so important. And I think arena football teaches you that because you do have to have the ball out so fast. And that was something Kurt Warner did better than just about anyone.
5:50 to go in the third. St. Louis attack 30. Rio Grande Valley 30. The crowd's coming alive. These kids are going nuts. They're happy to support the St. Louis attack.
Oh, they just get to, where you might not always at a Rams game. You're right up close, right on top of the field. Every seat's a good seat here at Family Arena.
And it's a different game than the NFL. It's exciting. I urge anyone to come out and watch that hasn't seen this.
Jacobs,
this is a fun game.
flip leads at the 10-5. Touchdown, Danny Young, number 5. That was a 20-yard strike. It looked like Jacobs had a lot of great time. A lot of time right there, and Rio Grande goes up with 5:08 and counting here in the third quarter.
You don't normally have that much time in this league to pass the ball, but when you do, you're probably going to hurt them. And Danny Young definitely on a nice crossing pattern there. Made the attack pay for, giving up too much time with no pressure from the defensive line.
Looking at the Soul, they're big. I mean, their wide receivers are big. Their quarterback's big. Got a lot of muscle out there. Arguez set for the PAT. Irizani, the holder. Irizani's got it down. Arguez kicks it up, and it's good. And with 4:32 to go, makes the score 37-30. Rio Grande Valley over the attack. Lots of time left here in this ball game.
Yeah, and in the last minute, points are going to be doubled, so you're never out of the game in this league, that's for sure.
Well, we're talking about the St. Louis Attack front office. Did you know Andrew and his wife, Leah, have opened like 30 professional sports teams and franchises? That is amazing.
And the entrepreneurship runs in the family, too.
30 minor league sports teams that Andrew started since 2001.
Yeah, but entrepreneurial nature runs in the family, too. Their 10 or 11-year-old son, AJ, pardon me for not knowing his exact age, he was actually the DJ for the St. Louis Ambush. Beats by AJ was providing the tunes for the Ambush this season.
Well, it sounds like he's following in his father's footsteps.
Oh, yeah.
But there are successful indoor football, hockey, basketball, team ownership. That's very impressive.
Yeah, and it's great just offering guys to live out their dream and, play a sport in front of people and not have to be done as soon as high school's over. That's just great.
And the kick. DeAndre up to the 5. Kicks outside the 10. Spins back to the right side. Breaks a tackle. There he goes. Dundee Jackson, 20, 25, midfield. He's spinning around, dancing with the stars, baby. And he's still going. Breaks another tackle all the way to the 23-yard line of Rio Grande.
Great blocking right there by the attack. I mean, DeAndre's got the moves, but we saw a couple guys pancake to the ground as well. So it takes more than just DeAndre's wheels to be able to get those kickoff returns and giving the attack some great field position as well.
Yeah, I've almost called him Deshaun Jackson a couple times, and he plays just like him, about the same size, electrifying, dancing all over the place, and he's a big play waiting to happen.
Wow. That's the DeAndre Jackson we know. Such an outstanding player. In 2014, he really lit it up in X-League action. We're at the 4-minute mark. Todd Blackstock, Mike McNeil, Dave Solomon bringing the action. Head in motion to the right side. McNeil, quick drop. He's going down towards the end zone. Oh, he just a little too strong and into the crowd.
Johnny King the target once again. It seemed like King had separation. McMullen just overthrew him. But it looked like their timing, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but it looked like their timing was much better than it has been earlier in the game.
Yeah, he was open. It was a little too high for him, a little out of reach, but hopefully they'll get synced up because they have been off page.
This could be a fun combo to watch later in the season.
Now, there's a guy on the roster, Eric Evans, who's listed as number 0. I want to see him get into the ball game tonight.
He's been on the field for a couple plays, and actually has 1 reception for 7 yards as well.
McMullen! Oh, this time he overthrows the wide receiver again.
That was Chris Head, the intended target.
It seems like I don't know. Is he not set? Is it how his footwork seems a little bit off, Mike?
They seem a little off, but I gotta say, Rio Grande Valley is actually just playing pretty good defense. Their defensive backs are staying with the receivers. Our guys aren't getting wide open, and part of that, McMullen's made a couple questionable throws, but overall, you got to give Rio Grande Valley some credit for just playing good defense.
Well, it's been a hell of a game. I mean, 37 to 30. The Attack are just 1 score away from tying or going up in this ball game. Clock's winding down DJ Prue with the effects. Down to 220. Jackson in motion to the left side. McMullen pulls up in the pocket, throws it deep. Oh my God!
Wow.
The wide receiver flies over the boards into the crowd.
That was Chris Head again, and he just popped right back up, but that could not have been fun, landing directly on concrete.
Right in front of the cameraman right there. What a great shot. Here's the replay right here.
Coach
he goes,
McKinney's
oh my
lane
Lord, I
McMullen
just saw
right
his
now.
legs up there, but he bounced right up. What a great shot for that cameraman.
Thinking Coach McKinney wasn't happy that he threw that ball. He should have gotten rid of it, and instead he kind of hung Chris Head out to dry on that one.
You know, one thing, Mike, it doesn't seem like I've seen a lot of checkdowns. It's either kind of all for nothing. It's either they're going for the end zone, and I haven't seen much, you know, second and third receiver looks.
Yeah, well, you know, those quick hitches off the motions usually work really well, but they haven't done that too much tonight.
All right, fourth down. McMullen rolling to the right side. McMullen, and it's incomplete. And the attack will turn it over on downs. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for Rio Grande.
That'll also be a point. Any turnover on down. Or did that get changed? Did it get changed?
They gave him the point there,
They
so
did,
we're going to
okay.
go with it. We're just going to go with what the flow says here on the scoreboard. And the scoreboard, or at least the scoreboards we're choosing to read here at Family Arena, says 38-30, whatever it is, 8-point game, 1:15 to go here in the third quarter.
When they put it up, it's a rule, and when they don't, I guess it's not a rule.
All right, the clock is rolling down towards the 1 minute mark. Rio Grande taking over. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball on the 22-yard line. And Jacobs looks over center. He's got a man in motion to the far side. Jacobs, three-step drop. He's going for it all, and he's got it. Touchdown. Touchdown, Antoine Hicks. That was a 28-yard touchdown from Jacobs to Hicks. And now Rio Grande Valley is up by 2 touchdowns with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. When you're the receiver in motion, you got to get open, and that was just way too easy for him.
He was wide open, and there was no pressure whatsoever on Jacobs on that play, so it was a picture-perfect play for the Soul.
And Antoine Hicks, he's having himself quite a game. 7 catches, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns.
They tried to jam him at the line. He went right by him, and that was just way too easy for the attack to give up.
Clock continues to roll. We're under 10 seconds. Or actually, we're under 5. Arguez, the kicker, and the clock has run out. I believe they should be able to go ahead and get this kickoff, though. But we are at 0, so this will be the last play of the third quarter. Here's Zari, the holder. His knee down at the 10-yard line. Snap back. It's a good one. Ball down. Arguez up. And he's nailed it through. So that makes the score 44-30 St. Louis Attack. And we're going to take a break after the third quarter. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in 2 minutes. You're listening to St. Louis Attack Football on TalkSTL.com, 1380 AM.
If you have a pool table, you need to know St. Louis Billiard Repair. They can make your old table new again. They can take it out of storage and recushion and recover. Install and disassemble and make a
The 3-minute break.
custom clock. Don't be ashamed of the old table and let St. Louis Billiard Repair make your table rackable once again. See their work at St. Louis.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I had to say. Lights are on.
And welcome back to the St. Charles Family Arena. Along with Dave Solomon, Mike McNeil, I'm Todd Blackstock. We got 15 minutes left to go in the ball game. And the Attack are down 2 touchdowns. They're down 45-30. But I tell you what, the Attack have big play capability. And Mike McNeil, Dave Solomon, I tell you what, the Attack may be down, but they're definitely not out.
No, absolutely not. Not only are they not out, but with 1 minute left, the points are doubled, so you're never out, especially with those new rules.
No, not at all. We saw that happen many times last season, most notably in the X-Bowl as Aragas kicks off, and once again it goes out of bounds on the fly, so the Attack will have 1st and 10 on their own 20.
And that looked pretty intentional, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like they're kicking it away.
But when you have DeAndre Jackson back there, 20 yards, I might take that.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some good returns, but, man, I tell you, that's really good field positioning to give up every single time.
Gentlemen, we did talk a lot about Andrew Haynes and all the great things he's done with minor league sports and being an entrepreneur, but we got to give a shout out to Michael Favazza, the Chief Financial Officer. He does a great job, along with Leah Haynes, Andrew's wife, who's the president.
And let me also give a shout out to Jim Fossil, doing a great job with PR, giving us all the info that makes us sound even smarter than we are. So just great job by everyone here in the Attack front office.
Well, he was the next guy I was going to say, but we'll also give a shout out to Brian Roth. Brian's the assistant general manager, and this year he's taken over as the public address announcer here, and he's doing a fine job tonight. Here we go. First down, 10 yards to go. The Attack on the 20-yard line. Mike McMullen over center. McMullen back to pass. He's got a guy down the right side. Oh, he overthrows King.
Flags
King
on the
was
field.
well covered, though, by number 3, Mike Grant Jr. Great coverage on the defense by Rio Grande, and there is a flag on the field.
Yeah, DeAndre Jackson just got tackled there. So he was the man in motion, and that's definitely going against Rio
He got
Grande.
smoked.
You can jam, you can't tackle.
And that's a 5-yard penalty for holding. Maintains the first down here for the Attack. That holding penalty called on Reggie Murray, the defensive back.
All right, so the ball's at the midcourt stripe. That would be the 25-yard line in the X-League. Short, fast field.
They need a big play. McMullen's been a little off with the receivers. It'd be great to see a touchdown right here.
14:09 to go in the fourth quarter. McMullen under center. First down, 10 yards to go. McMullen, quick hitter up the middle. Looks like Grady down for about 2 to 3 yards, and he's smacked down under the turf. And that's going to bring up second down, and we'll call
Great
it 6.
spot. Yeah, you know, the Attack run the ball just about as well as anyone. Grady said earlier, north and south, hard to bring down. He usually picks up about 5 yards, which is great when you can get your running game going.
6 on that one. His forward progress gives him. Here comes receiver in motion. Quick pitch to the right side. And down there's a flag on the play. And a gain of about 2. And a swarming defense by the Soul. And we're going to have to sort this one out. So Jackson was the ball carrier.
Love to see the man in motion go to the end zone. That's what Rio Grande did on their last touchdown, and it doesn't seem like the Attack's doing that too much.
And the penalty is against the Attack. They're going to mark it back. And that's a pretty big mark off there, all the way back to the 19-yard line. So the Attack are going to go second down and long from their own 19-yard line with 13:20 to go in the ballgame. 45-30 is the score.
Looks like King's going to be the motion man. I'd love to see him go deep, and him and McMullen hook up right here.
McMullen, 2-step drop. Over the middle. Intercepted. Oh, intercepted by David Irizarry.
Called the play right, just didn't call an interception.
And he threw a great strike, but to the wrong
King
color.
was in motion, went deep on a crossing pattern, just couldn't sync up with McMullen. It's been a little off the past few series.
All right, so the Rio Grand Valley Soul is going to start off at their own 14-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go.
Also throwing a point for that 46 now for Rio Grande, getting a point for a turnover.
All right, 13:03 to go in the ball game. Having a lot of fun down here at the St. Charles Family Arena. It's TalkSTL.com, 1380 AM's inaugural 2015 broadcast of the X Leagues.
You know, I had never seen an arena game until I started doing this broadcasting, and I got to say, it's a blast to watch. If you haven't seen it, you got to come out and watch it live because it's so much fun.
All right, long huddle right now for Rio Grande.
5 seconds to go on the play clock. It looks like we'll have the Rio Grande Souls first time out as their coach waits for the play clock to hit 1 second and calls their first time out of the half.
So now it's 12:28. You know, you got to think about Rio Grande. They're up 16 points. They would like to do nothing more than milk this clock. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few running plays. The clock goes on anyway, but I think ball control right now for Rio Grande is kind of what they're probably thinking. And the attack right now is going to start thinking, we need to get this ball back and put some points on the board.
Yeah, I think running the ball and protecting it is always key, but it's a tough, I said it before, it's a tough league to run the ball in, but obviously making sure they don't get a turnover will be big. But as far as the attack go, they need a pick 8. You know, Marcus Dickinson already had one, maybe he'll get another, but you know, Rio Grande's got to keep control of the ball, but I don't know how much they'll be able to run it.
I tell you, going into this game, Coach McKinney was not cocky. He was not arrogant. He was not like, we're ready, we're gonna trounce these guys. He was pretty cautious, and he knew he had a formidable opponent coming in here. You know, the X League has added, not only have they added teams this year, they've added talented teams that were very successful in the other leagues that they were in.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris McKinney told me that 6 of the 10 teams in this league now either played in or won their championship last year. So there's definitely some new talent, and it's going to be a tough league to win.
And even this Soul team, even though they didn't play in the playoffs, they still won the regular season in their league.
All right, Jacobs under center, 1st and 10, ball on the 12-yard line. Back to pass, he's got a rush, roll to the right side, and he's got his man at the 21-yard line, and there's a flag on the play. And it's getting a little chippy down there. The referee is saying incomplete pass, and the Rio Grande player is on the ground.
I think it's going to be incomplete, but I think that might go against the attack.
So there's tempers flying on the field right now. The referees are breaking it up. Head coach Chris McKinney is pushing his players out of the way. You can see it right here on the video screen, folks. There was the replay. It was a really, really hard hit. And the Rio Grande player looking for a number is down on the ground. And his teammates are hovering over him with 12:12 to go here in the ball game. So we'll see how this unfolds. Here comes the referee out of the scrum. They're talking it over right now. There's a shot of the bench of Rio Grande. They're up, but they're not celebrating. They're not celebrating at all on the Rio Grande bench. They know that the attack still has a great chance to come back and win this ball game.
Yeah, you're never out of it in this league. That's for sure. It's a fast-paced, quick scoring, and like I said before, with the points doubled, you're just never out of it.
And the refs officially rolled on that play. They're rolling the penalty for the vicious hit. So it's an incomplete pass, then a 10-yard personal foul penalty on the attack. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Soul as they mark it off to. We're waiting for the official spot from the officials. You can never quite count in the indoor game on them where they might spot it, but it'll be 1st and 10 for the Soul on their own 23.
Yeah, the player down is number 7, Cordrick Mobley.
Oh, yeah, and he's their best wide receiver. He had 5 touchdowns in their opening win against the Georgia Rampage last week. And he jumps up. Look at that. It reminds me of one of those soccer players that they get a little nudge and they go down like they're shot. And they jump up 30 seconds later, ready to score a goal. So it's good to see the young man bounce back right there.
In soccer, they fake it, you know. They grab their shin or their knee like they just died, and then they get up.
I saw a guy get carried off on a stretcher, and they didn't call a penalty. And he jumped off the stretcher and back into the ball game. They don't do that in football.
No.
Well, folks, come on back here next week to the St. Charles Family Arena. It's going to be another exciting night at 7:35 kickoff. X-Dash with the Bloomington Edge in town. That should be a great game and kind of a natural rivalry. Bloomington, Illinois. It's just just a couple hours away. The fans can drive out here. I think it's great to have some of these natural rivalries just a couple hours away, guys.
As you have Bloomington 3 hours away, and then the other new team in Marion, Ohio. You know, while maybe not an easy one-day drive, a very drivable distance, so the Attack don't have to sit on a bus for 15 hours.
That does happen when they go to Florida. There's a movement on the right side right here. Foul in the play. Penalty.
Filling in for Cordrick Mobley at receiver is going to be number 1, David Irizarry. He's a kickoff returner and also a defensive back.
I want to give a shout out too to Chris McKinney does a great job, but Dan Montgomery and Troy Robertson really work hard teaching fundamentals and getting out here with these kids and these St. Louis Attack players. So I just wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out. Got 11:36 to go and counting. Rio Grande 46, St. Louis Attack 30. Sole ball at the 21-yard line. First down and 5 after the penalty. And we've had a little bit of downtime here after the injury, and it's good that the young man, number 7, Cordrick Mobley, who is back in the ball game right now, he's split out to the right side. So Jacobs under center, 1st and 5, ball at the 21-yard line of the Attack. Quick hitter on the right side, about a 2-yard gain, and the defensive side, led by Bernard Quinn, stuffed that one. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, Rio Grande hasn't ran the ball great tonight. You know, the defensive front of the Attack is pretty stout, and they don't give up much rushing yards, that's for sure.
Ryan Richardson, that's his 4th carry of the game, 12 yards. So as Mike said, not much there at all.
That's why it's pretty impressive with what Darryl Grady does. I got to tip my hat to him. He breaks enough tackles and lowers his shoulder and picks up yards. It's just a tough league to run in.
Oh, very much so. It's very rare that you see a potent running game. I mean, oftentimes most of your offense is either by wide receivers on pitch outs or quarterbacks running for it.
2nd down and short. Jacobs back to pass. He's got a touchdown.
Antoine
Number 13. How about that?
Wow.
He's having himself a game. Once again, he was the motion man, ran a deep post crossing pattern, and he's been making them pay all night.
So things not looking too good right now for the Attack. 52-30. We're at the 9:45 mark of the 4th quarter. And guys, Mike, what do you think the Attack has to do? I mean, they're putting the ball up in the air, but they seem to be misfiring quite frequently.
Well, offensively, they're not meshing very well between the quarterbacks and the receivers, and that's killing them. But defensively, I don't think I've seen them give up this many yards passing in a while. They're the motion man, and Antoine Hicks, number 13, has just been absolutely killing the Attack, and they got to find a way to stop him.
Argos with a point after, and now the score is 53-30 with 9:20 to go.
When I talked to Coach McKinney, he said he was, you know, struggling with the receivers, not necessarily always being in the right place at the right time and not being on the same page with McMullen, and that's definitely showing tonight. So hopefully in these last 9 minutes they can get on the same page because it's hurting them so far.
And it's a long season, guys. The Attack are undefeated as of right now. They're 1-0. It's going to be tough to come back, but last week this Rio Grande team was down 21 points in the 4th quarter versus the Georgia Rampage, and they came back. So anything can happen. In the X-Bowl championship last year, the Attack was down. They made a run at the end of the game. So this is definitely exciting indoor football action. And the Attack is still in this ball game. Quick strike scores. And we're not going to count them out just yet.
Oh, not at all. Because think about it. All of a sudden, if you get a 8-point play, that becomes 16 points in the final minute of the game. So in reality, you have to look at it here in the 4th quarter as it's just a 2-possession game for the Attack. So very manageable, especially with all the playmakers they have. If DeAndre Jackson or Chris Head can break one, you can see this game really change in a hurry.
I'd love to see the Attack start using the same offensive game plan that Rio Grande is, that motion man going deep and taking chances, because Rio Grande is killing the Attack on it. It doesn't seem like the Attack's doing that too much.
Well, he has the perfect man for that, too, in DeAndre Jackson as well.
Well, last year they were just lighting it up. I mean, Mike McMullen was the quarterback of the year in the X League, and something's different. And the kickoff goes way into the crowd. as they don't want to kick it to the deep man of the St. Louis Attack. They don't want to. I tell you, they're playing kind of conservative right now. They're up. They've got a pretty good-sized lead right now. Rio Grande does, and it's kind of going into milk the clock mode. Keep it away from the superstars.
A little strange though, because that wasn't DeAndre Jackson back there. That was number 7, Adrian Moore. So thought they might kick it to him, but I guess they're just not taking any chances on kickoff.
Well, they knew they weren't going to kick it to Jackson, so they just figured that if they put somebody else in there, maybe they would kick to him. Well, the crowd's still having a good time right now. They're singing along with Journey. DJ Prue's rocking the house.
Motion man's Jackson. Let's see something deep. Take a chance right here.
All right, 1st and 10, ball to 19. McMullen back to pass. He throws it over the middle, and nothing doing right there. Double coverage, great defensive efforts right there by Rio Grande.
Yeah, so you can see a little frustration out of Jackson. He wanted the ball. He was the motion man. He was one-on-one, and he went deep, and I think he's frustrated that McMullen didn't throw it to him.
Here's the replay right here. He threw it. He just misfired on it. Right now, Coach McKinney's out there discussing the situation with Mike McMullen. It's like, Mike, relax, set your feet, and follow through on your throws, because he's kind of throwing off his back foot a little bit. 8:40 to go, 2nd down, 10 yards to go, ball to 20-yard line. Attack, trying to crawl back into this down 23. McMullen back to pass. This time he's, they're calling it incomplete. Looks like it bounced off the turf. The ball was thrown just a little bit low to Jackson, who pulls his chin strap off in frustration.
But that's the type of play where I know you were maybe trying to do the equivalent to a screen, but that's the type of play where you might want to give to a possession receiver, but there wasn't going to be much to gain afterwards at all. You didn't take advantage of DeAndre's speed, and McMullen now 6 of 22 passing on the evening with 2 interceptions.
Not only that, they sent the other 2 receivers deep. They didn't even have them blocking for Jackson, so not really sure what was going on there. These guys are definitely not synced up right now, and it's causing them a lot of problems.
McMullen under center, 3rd down and 10. 5-step drop, looks to the right. He's going for it all into the end zone. Hits the end of the end zone, and there's a flag.
DeAndre Jackson was held up, the defensive back. Reggie Murray had his hand on DeAndre Jackson, was slowing him down just enough. We have the flag on the field, so expect that one to be called.
And if that's called, that should be a 1st down for the St. Louis Attack. Big play right there, big call. We're going to see what happens.
Sometimes that's the beauty in taking a shot. You may not complete the pass, but you got a good chance of getting pass interference, and that's what happened right there.
Good point. Pass interference. 1st down, St. Louis Attack. 7:39 to go here in the ball game. 53-30 right now is the score as Rio Grande's made the trip up.
That was a pretty big call, too, because I don't know if Jackson was going to be able to get that. It didn't look like he was going to get his hands on that, so I'm a little surprised they threw a flag on that.
It would have been a tough catch, but I don't know if you could go to the extreme of calling it an uncatchable ball from the official's point of view.
All right, here we go. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 20-yard line of Rio Grande. McMullen back to pass. 4-step drop. He rolls to the right side. Helmets are flying. And the ball goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown Attack.
Well, Mike McMullen there showed some great pocket presence, using his size as Chris Head gets the 20-yard touchdown reception. But McMullen that made it happen by being able to stay in the pocket and have a couple defenders bounce off him, buying him the time he needed to hit Chris Head.
Right here, there's the defensive man's helmet came off, and McMullen rolled to the right side and threw a bullet into the hands of Chris Head, who dove into the end zone, and the attacker right back in this with 6:42 to go in the ballgame.
Yeah, anytime the pocket collapses and the quarterback can get out, you got a chance at a big play, and that's what happened right there. McMullen found Head, and that was much needed for the attack.
Now it's time for the PAT snapback. It's a little high, it's good though, and the kick is up, and it's good. And the attack cut the lead to 53-37, 6:29 to go in the ball game, and they're right back in it. I like that. Just when you start to count them out a little bit, they come up with a big play. McMullen's a big guy. He's not real mobile. He's a little bit older, but he got out there. The defensive lineman's head, his helmet was ripped off. Yeah. And McMullen, before he came up and made contact, just threw a bullet sidearm over the Head, who dove into the end zone. Great touchdown by the attack.
Yeah, the attack needed that, and I would say the refs may have helped them out a little bit with that pass interference call earlier, and that led to a touchdown and much needed to get the attack back in this game.
Well, like you said earlier, Mike and Dave, once they get inside 1 minute, starting to get really fired up as they know that they want to disrupt the offensive signals of Rio Grande and be that 9th man, per se. In the NFL, it's 12th man. In the X League, it's the 9th man. So the crowd, big crowd right now, is just very noisy
tonight.
So here we go, first down 10, ball on the 5-yard line. Handoff around the right side, Jacobs to the fullback. And great defensive pressure by Bernard Quinn in the interior unit there. It's going to bring up second down and long.
Pretty conservative call right there. Looks like Rio Grande maybe trying to chip away at this clock.
But on a short field with the X rules applying in the final minute of the game, you have to view this as a one-possession game right here. This is the equivalent of being an 8-point game.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little surprised to see them run the ball right there, especially with they've been taking chances left and right, especially with Antoine Hicks. I mean, you got to think they got to open it up instead of trying to run the clock out.
Going conservative here in the indoor game usually comes back to bite you.
Absolutely.
So Ryan Richardson only got about 1 yard on that carry, so it's going to bring up second down and 9. Ball's on the 6-yard line of Rio Grande. Jacobs is under center. Got a man in motion to the left side. He finds the man wide open, number 7. He breaks the tackle. First down up to the 21-yard line. And that was Cordrick Mobley, the all-star wide receiver who was injured earlier in this ball game. He looks like he's 100% right now.
Yeah, he took a shot earlier, but that was a nice play. They ran a little spot route with a corner in behind it, and that got Cordrick Mobley wide open. Great play call right there.
Omar Jacobs, the quarterback of Rio Grande Valley, he's a physical specimen. He's got a great arm, he's got mobility, and he's got size, and he can see over the defensive lineman, and he's really been threading the needle. He throws a great spin.
Yeah, he's looked impressive so far, and obviously with them putting up 58 points last week and 53 so far right now, obviously their offense is pretty good.
He's also got a winning pedigree, too, a 2-time Arena Bowl champion quarterback, I believe with the San Jose SaberCats, so a lot of experience there, used to the short field, and can really maximize his skill set for this indoor game.
That was a big first down, bringing it up to the 21-yard line. A little problem with the snap, but this time the pass is down the right side, and there's a flag on the play. It could be defensive holding right there.
Absolutely.
As Mobley was trying to make the catch, and he was interfered with, and with 3:47 to go, that's a big penalty against the attack.
Yeah, Kaspari had his inside arm. That was definitely a good call by the refs right there.
See, I don't know. I was just looking at the replay. I didn't really see it. I don't know if it was incidental contact or I missed it, but head coach Chris McKinney just took his hat off, and he was out there yelling a few choice words, and now he's back on the bench.
I don't know if you guys saw it better, but to me, I don't even know if Kaspari even looked back at the ball.
No, but I think he was holding his inside arm. That's what it looked like to me. The receiver reached up only with one arm, and I think that's why they got him.
Clock continues to roll. Now the clock is a factor. We're under 3:30 to go here.
We'll have a rolling clock here until the 1-minute mark, and then you have conventional timing rules, as well as the double scoring here in the final minute of the second half.
Well, the crowd's going crazy right now as the mascot's getting into it with some of the fans. And this time it's a handoff up the middle inside the 15 to the 13-yard line, close to a first down. And we get to about the 3-minute mark. It's going to be second down at about 6.
Yeah, Ryan Richardson, number 31 there with the run. I think they just doubled their run total for the entire night with that run. He got about 6 or 7. I think they'd only had about 8 previously. So not a bad play call, and good job by Ryan Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson now 20 yards on 6 carries on the evening as the Attack take their first timeout. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining as we have 2 minutes, 56 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter with the Rio Grande Valley Soul leading the St. Louis Attack 53-37.
And folks, a lot of exciting things going on at talkstl.com and 1380 AM. We're going to kick the mornings off with JC Corcoran. JC from 7 to 9. That's going to be the hookup with Zav and the Rod, Todd Blackstock, Chris Razavi. Howard Balzer is going to be coming in from the 11 to 1 o'clock hour, followed by Jim Rome, the nationally syndicated Jim Rome and all his clones from around the nation. And then, of course, it's the King's Court with Kevin Slayton, Monday through Friday, weekly from 3 to 6 on 1380 AM, talkstl.com. Bringing relevance back to St. Louis radio. We're very excited. Mike McNeil, formerly of the St. Louis Rams, Carolina Panthers, and the Colts, Kirkwood High School, and he was a Cornhusker. He's going to be joining the hookup on Mondays as a guest roving host. We're going to call it McNeil Mondays.
I think I'm going to switch it to Mondays with McNeil.
Mondays with McNeil.
I like that a little.
Sounds
I like
better.
that a little bit better.
I'm all with you there.
We're still working on some of the details, but folks, we've got a hell of a lineup this week. And Rio Grande ball for a second down and 5. Jacobs back to pass. He's going to the end zone, wide open touchdown, but there is a flag on the play. This could be huge.
Charles Henry actually had a hand on Jacobs as he was throwing the ball too. But we've got to wait and see which way this one's getting called.
You know, the defensive backs. Oh, it's going to be on the offense. They're going to be bringing this one back.
It's a big call right there. And that's
I'm
really
just
going to hurt Rio
wondering how
Grande.
these guys, these receivers are getting so wide open.
Well, that was actually a really good route. Cordrick Mobley ran a post corner there after being the motion man and acted like he was going to the post, broke off to the corner, and got wide open. Also a heck of a job by Omar Jacobs with someone hanging on him to get the ball out. But unfortunately, it's all coming back.
Well, big break for the St. Louis Attack. The clock continues to roll while they sort this out. We're down to about 2:35 on the game clock.
20 seconds on the play clock as well. And it looks like the Soul are going to take almost every second of this.
Oh, sure. They're definitely going to milk this clock down to close to the 2-minute warning. Right now it looks like it's going to be second down at about 14-yard line. 14, the ball's on the 23-yard line. Man in motion to the far side. Jacobs back to pass, long drop. Rolls to the right side. He's got a man wide open. Right in front of him at the 10. 5.
Oh.
And down at the 5-yard line. And
Danny
a big
Young
hit.
with
Oh,
a
they're fired up
peelback
down
on
there.
that.
And it looks like there's a fight in the crowd over across the way. They got a couple people wrestling right behind the Attack bench. About 5-6 rows up there. They're rolling around. I tell you, the fans are into this ball game.
Hey, the players have been chippy. The fans are getting chippy. There's fighting all over the place.
I tell you what, come on down, folks. Get your season tickets to the St. Louis Attack. It's a lot of fun. Come on down to these ball games. We got interactive fan support.
And great response by the Family Arena crowd. You know, we don't endorse fighting in the stands. Family Arena security were right over it, so it's still a great place to take the kids. Those fans, by all means, were the exception as well.
Well, I tell you, this game has been chippy from the onset. Before the game started, during the national anthem, they're out there reminding me a little bit of Slapshot. The old Paul Newman movie, you know, where they're about ready to throw down before the game. Kind of like that against the Florida Marine Raiders last year in the X Bowl, too. So these players aren't taking this lightly. They're here to win.
We do have flags on the field.
The Rio Grande Valley team would be smart to run the ball right now, get it under a minute, and then take their chances at double points. I'd be shocked if they actually took a chance at the end zone right now.
Well, let's do the math, guys. 16-point game, 106.
And that was a penalty after the play, an illegal hit on Rio Grande's, actually on Omar Jacobs of all people. They called it on number 4, so it's now first and goal at the 10-yard line.
Gotta imagine Ryan Richardson's getting the ball right here.
right, Jacobs under
Jacobs
center.
keeps it.
And he hands it off to Richardson, who smoked and brought back, loses a couple yards right here. And we are at the 1 minute mark. Clock stopped at 59
I believe
seconds.
you have to get positive yards for the clock to keep running, so they might put some
Well,
time
it's a
back.
1 minute warning.
They did.
Oh, wow.
They put it back. They put 1 second back on.
He actually got tackled at about 102, so a little surprised. Good job by the coach, though, getting him into a minute so they can get double the points.
So from 9 to 11, Monday, we're going to have Mike McNeil in studio with Chris Rosavi and I on the hookup with Zav and the Rod. Tuesday, we're looking at Tex Trismegistus, professional boxer, never fought amateur whatsoever. He recently took the Romanian champion to an extra round on the ESPN Friday Night Fights. Texas from the streets of Ferguson, Missouri.
You got to be tough.
He's a tough guy. He trains. He won his first 10 or 12 fights fighting, at the cards at Ameristar and places like that. And he started just dominating so much that someone found him, put him on the ESPN Friday Night Fights a few weeks ago. They gave this guy no chance at all, fighting the Romanian champion who had about 8 or 9 inches on Tex. And Tex took him all the way, bloodied him up. And now they're booking fights all over the country. Tex has a big fight this weekend, and we're going to hear his story Tuesday between 9 and 11 on 1380 AM, TalkSTL.com.
But right here in the attack game, we're being in the final minute, the scoring is doubled. So even though it's 53-37 Seoul, 1 minute to go, all we are is Marcus Dickinson interception return away from tying the game.
And that is the story right now with 1 minute to go. 53-37. Second down. Ball on the 12-yard line. Jacobs under center. Jacobs back to pass. He's rolling to the right side. He's got a rush, and he's got nobody to throw to, and he wisely throws it away underneath the defensive coverage of the attack.
Also important to note, with time starting to become a factor, each team has 2 timeouts remaining, 56 seconds to go on the game clock as well. As right now sitting on the lead, and with the double scoring as well, if you're Omar Jacobs, you might want to go just a hair, not too conservative, but be careful with the ball, because that interception, if it's returned back to the end zone, that ties the game.
Yeah, and they got a decent kicker, so they can get the points and maybe seal a victory. So
all right,
they definitely don't want to take a chance turning the ball over here.
And with 56 seconds left, we're going to have our Paul Minios player of the game. Will be a member of the attack or from Rio Grande Valley.
I've got a couple ideas. Stats don't lie. I'll leave it here, and
we'll come back with that in
Antoine
just a
Hicks is
moment.
having himself a heck of a game.
You'll hear more about that in the
All right,
post-game.
Jacobs back to pass, and it's intercepted, or it's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
It's a touchdown. It went in and out of the hands of the St. Louis attack defensive back. I thought it was going to be an interception. It went right through for a touchdown, and that could be the nail in the coffin.
Cordrick Mobley knocked out earlier, having himself a couple big plays since he's come back, and that was a heck of a catch right there. He took an interception to a touchdown.
That reminded me a little bit of Russell Wilson at the in the playoff game with Seattle, when he threw that ball into the end zone, and it went right through the receiver's hands and into the defensive back.
This almost looked more like a 50-50 ball. If this were basketball, it would have been a jump ball.
It would have gone to the arrow. All right, so it's a touchdown for Rio Grande. In for the PAT, Leo Arguez. Snap back, ball down, kicks up, and it's good. And with 50 seconds left to go in the ball game, it's 60-37, and it's going to be tough to climb back into this one, folks.
That wasn't double.
Do we not have the double scoring anymore?
I guess they probably haven't posted it yet.
I'm going to go check on that. I'll let you guys have it.
Yeah, rule changes happen all the time. So
come on, Dave. Dave's going to get to the bottom of
maybe
this
there's
for
no
us.
more 1 minute double.
I'm not sure they need the extra one, but some of the fans are starting to clear out right now. But, folks, if you're here at the ball game, listen to the broadcast, come on down to the field after the game. Both teams will be on the field, maybe after a cooling-off period, and they'll be signing autographs. If you want to go down and talk to the coach or the owner or some of the players, it's very fan-friendly. And the attack, I know the attack players love to stick around and sign autographs and talk to the kids. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, win or lose, players always appreciate fans coming out, and it's always nice to go out there and give back a little bit.
I like watching Dave. He gets to the bottom of everything. Nothing gets past him. On the scoreboard, on the stats. He can keep the statistics, call the game, and keep the scorers in check at the same time.
This whole time we thought they had double points and that they'd be able to get back in the game in any minute, but that may not be the case anymore.
Scoreboard remains 60-37. And Rio Grande Valley set to kick off.
And the verdict, from what I've been told, this year they've changed the rules, supposedly. And coming from our esteemed scoreboard operator, the only change of scoring in the final minute is if you do a conversion from the 25 instead of 3 points, it's 4. But other than that, standard scoring applies.
And here comes the attack back to 25, down to the 21-yard line, where they'll take over with 42 seconds left to go in the ball game.
Unfortunately, I guess that kind of puts this game out of reach.
Yes.
I kind of liked the double scoring.
I did too.
You're never out of it then.
All right, so here we go. Attack ball. First down, 10 yards to go. They're on the Rio Grande Valley 20-yard line with 42 seconds left to go. I know points are huge in the X League as far as standings when there's ties, so the attack certainly would like to get more points on the board. Not for this game, but for future games down the road. Quick hitter to the right side. And a nice gain down there, close to a first down to about the 11-yard line. And I believe that was Chris Head.
Yeah, a little surprised to see a receiver screen, though, with, only about 40 seconds left. They're just running out the clock and not really taking a chance at the end zone on that one.
We're down to 20 seconds left. 60-37. Ball on the 12-yard line. McMullen back to pass, quick hitter to the left side. He's got it down 10-5 to the 1-yard line. To the 1-yard line. I'm checking for the number.
Mike Grant Jr. just took a shot at Johnny King on that one. Almost as if he wasn't even worried about making a tackle.
And that was Head again. Can't miss those dreads.
So 2 seconds left in the ball game. The ball is at the 1-yard line. And the attack does have a chance to at least pad their scoring for the later on in the season. And there is a timeout on the field. And looks like they're going to go ahead and play through this. So after this play, we're going to have our Palminios Trotteria at Westport Plaza player of the game. Palminios make reservations for the finest Italian in Westport Plaza. 314-878-8182 for reservations.
5 seconds now on the clock.
McMullen pitches to the left side in the end zone. Touchdown. Is that Grady?
Yeah, I think Grady's guaranteed to get at least 1 yard every time. So
he's a big physical force right there. And with 3 seconds left in the ball game, the attack cut the lead to 60-43.
It's nice to know that your running back's going to get a yard or two every single time, especially down there.
Well, I tell you what, folks, it's a great, fun, exciting game. X-League football. Come on down, get your tickets. Come on down to the studios of TalkSTL.com 1380, and we'll give you tickets to the attack games. Come on down, check out our studios.
Very convenient location on Hampton Avenue between Interstate 64 and 44. Not too far from the old arena site.
Yeah, it's right there in between Taco Bell and Jack in the Box. Come on down, say hi, and we want your advertising dollars. McMullen throws this one away a little bit too deep right there. So with the kickoff imminent and 3 seconds left, the scoring is probably going to end at 60-43. And right now it's time for our Palminios player of the game.
And I think this is a consensus opinion amongst us in the broadcast booth. Antoine Hicks for the Soul. 9 receptions, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was just a game-changing performance, and that was the difference in the game right there was Hicks's contributions, and that makes him the Palminios player of the game.
And we'd also like to thank Miller Mortgage Team. Russ Miller and his gang have jumped on board to be a sponsor of 1380 AM TalkSTL.com. We'd like to thank Russ Miller and the Miller Mortgage Team for jumping on board with their sponsorship. And we're very excited to partner with him and all the sponsors at 1380 amtalkstl.com, as we've got a lot of sponsors coming on board. Folks, it's a great time. We got a great lineup. JC from 7 to 9, Zav and the Rod, Todd Blackstock, Chris Razavi 11 to 1, Howard Balzer from 11 to 1. And then we've got the Jim Rome Show and Kevin Slayton's King's Court, Monday through Friday at 3 o'clock on 1380 AM, talkstl.com.
And let me just expand on JC2 in the morning. It's so great to see him returning to terrestrial radio as well as talkstl.com, because you will not find a man in this business who is A, more prepared, or B, is prepared to talk about such a vast variety of topics, from current events to entertainment to sports. It is just amazing to look at the wealth of his resume, and he tells it like it is, too. It's not just pretty radio, superficial radio. I mean, JC, he's not afraid to be opinionated, but a vast wealth of experience, both in life and preparation, goes into his show. So I encourage you all to give the showgram a listen.
And here's the kickoff. It's caught down at the 1 yard line, up and a kneel down. And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. The score, the Rio Grande Valley Souls 60 and the St. Louis Attack 43. Folks, come on back here next week. We'll be right back here at the Family Arena as the Bloomington Edge is in town for a 7:35X Dash. And we'd like to thank our producer and operations director, Scott Gerken. We would definitely like to thank Mike McNeil and Dave Solomon.
And don't forget Matt Rocchio in studio control as well. Great job keeping us on the air and allowing those of you fine sponsors who help make St. Louis Attack football possible. We thank all of you as well. So great job by Matt back in studio control of Talk STL 1380 as well.
All right, folks, thanks again for listening to the broadcast. And we'll see you again next week out here at the St. Charles Family Arena. We'll be kicking things off.